Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome into Wilmington Wildcats Weekly, brought to you by Breezer Construction Company as we get set for football this afternoon from Farmington. Cats on the road here in Week 2 of the playoffs. Has a couple of purple-clad teams here today. Boy, we have some interesting weather. It's not supposed to rain, ironically enough, and if you're back in Wilmington, it's probably been pouring all day. But here it was raining earlier and kind of tapered off. We're back to having some fog and some other things, but looks like it'll be halfway decent weather for football. We got temperatures in the mid to upper 50s here as we get set to get this thing underway. And a couple of teams that have come through the year fairly decently so far. Wilmington with one loss, Farmington undefeated, and we'll talk a little bit about some of the other games that have gone on here recently, including the IC game last night over at Peatone, which ended up being, I think, a lot closer than anybody anticipated. However, IC down to what I believe is their third-string quarterback. So we'll talk a little bit about that as things go along here today. And we'll get set for football from Farmington. And the Farmers come into today's game at 10-0. They had no problems week 1 last week with Winnebago, winning at 48-6 in a conference, Winnebago's conference anyway, that includes Byron and some of those other teams. And in fact, Byron's still around. They're undefeated too in 3A. It just makes some things interesting as we move forward here in this particular bracket. Of course, the team to beat at this point, from all accounts, has been IC. But, you know, some injuries, that's what happens. Kind of works into that category of more iffy than a guarantee. The winner of this game will get IC next week, and that'll be interesting as well. So the Cats in Farmington, once again, big thank you to our sponsor, Breezer Construction Company, here for sponsoring Wilmington Wildcats Weekly each and every week. Got a bunch of stuff going for you here in this pregame show. We'll have a recap of some stuff that happened last night around the IHSA, and then we'll have a preview of some games about ready to hit the start time here this afternoon. A bunch of games will be at 2 o'clock this afternoon, including most of the games here in 3A. And then they'll cap off later tonight. Still some local teams around, too. We'll talk about that. Also, we have our interview with the head coach of the Wildcats, Mr. Jeff Rains. Get to that in just a few minutes. First off, we'll talk a little bit about what happened last night. We'll do that in just a moment. You're listening to Wilmington Wildcats Weekly here on the Christian Internet Sports Network.
Breezer Construction Company is a proud supporter of Wilmington Wildcats football on the Christian Internet Sports Network. For over 40 years, Breezer Construction Company has led the way in providing quality construction to the industrial, utility, and pipeline industries. For more information on Breezer Construction Company, go to breezerconstruction.com. That's breezerconstruction.com. Or call 815-521-0900. When you need the very best representation on your side, the attorneys and staff at Odekirk Allred & Associates are here to help with extensive professional experience in cases involving criminal defense, divorce, custody, personal injury, residential real estate, and driver's license reinstatement. Odekirk Allred & Associates and its diverse team is prepared to commit personalized attention and aggressive representation to achieve positive outcomes for your most stressful legal issues. Odekirk Allred & Associates has a team of highly skilled attorneys from the area, including Wilmington locals. Odekirk Allred & Associates takes pride in its communication skills and unmatched reputation for success. Contact Odekirk Allred & Associates at 815-740-1700 or stop by their new office location in Wilmington at 1095 South Water Street for your free consultation today.
Back here on the Christian Internet Sports Network as we roll through Wilmington Wildcats Weekly, brought to you by Breezer Construction Company, coming to you live this afternoon from Farmington in what is a packed press box here today. It's one of those situations where you just going to kind of have to make things work, I do believe, and that's where we're at the moment.
We'll do it.
We talked a little bit about some things going on last night. The big one, though, was Peatone and IC Catholic. IC winning 29-16, but that doesn't really tell the whole story. Piatone had a 3-0 lead in the first half. Matter of fact, end of the first quarter, they led 3-0. IC led 8-3 at the break. And then in the second half, IC scored relatively quickly to make it 16-3. Piatone up to that point only had about 55 yards of total offense. They then go to the ground, get a 60-yard rushing touchdown to make it 16-10. IC goes ahead and rattles off 2 quick scores to make it 29-10, but that wasn't it either. Piatone scored relatively early in the fourth quarter to make it 29-16, and not only that, they were driving again in the fourth quarter about midway through and threw a pick inside the 5-yard line of IC that would have, of course, woulda, coulda, shoulda, but if you convert there, make it 29-23 toward the midway stages of the fourth quarter, but the score ended up being 29-16. As we mentioned, IC down to what we believe is their third-string quarterback, and Piatone did move the ball a little bit on them on the ground. So interesting that these two teams today get a little glimmer of hope looking at
just
that.
A little. Oh, yes. Up to this time, IC has just rolled over everybody, had no respect for anybody's defense. And Piatone really gave them quite a game and came close to making a stab at them at the end of the game if they'd just minded the ball just a little bit better.
Well, also locally last night, make sure I get this score exactly right, Minooka ended up pulling off a 41-34 win over Barrington. That's in 8A. And by the way, Barrington's supposed to be the number 2 overall seed in 8A, and Minooka ended up pulling out a 7-point victory there. Their second straight overtime win in the playoffs, so the Indians still alive over there just north of Morris. And also Naperville Central 31-28 over Homewood Flossmoor. That was last night. Depending upon what happens today, Minooka could end up going to Edwardsville. And good luck with that trip. You want to talk about a haul? That's a haul if you go down to Edwardsville.
Oh, boy. Yeah, I didn't know that Minooka was 8A. I thought they were more like a 6A because Morris plays them a lot. And Morris is a 6A. But they're quite a bit larger school than that, and they've dug their heels in, and they refuse to go.
All right, a couple other local games going on today, or at least involving local teams. Herscher gets Taylorville. Taylorville just annihilated Coal City last week, and Herscher will get them today. That game is at 5 o'clock, so that will be after Wilmington gets done here today. And Morris will take on Ridgewood out of Norridge. And Morris, a dangerous team in 4A because they're one of the largest 4A teams, and they're traditionally not there. And even though they have 2 losses, that is a tough out for anyone in the 4A bracket for sure.
Yeah, Morris is going to be tough for anybody. They've played tough all year long. The losses have been hard earned by the victors, and they'll give everybody a game that comes in their way.
So about 11 minutes away from opening kick here this afternoon between Farmington and Wilmington. We'll take a break. We'll come back with our interview with Coach Jeff Reintz here in just a moment as Wilmington Wildcats Weekly rolls on from Farmington. Boy, my first time here in a pretty nice facility. Take a break, come back and hear from Coach Reintz in a moment. You're listening to Wilmington Wildcats Weekly, brought to you by Breezer Construction Company.
Quigling Technology Services is your local source for computer help. They have built numerous websites, including ours, here at the Christian Internet Sports Network. Quigling Technology Services also specializes in virus removal, so your computer will get back to full speed now. And you can trust them for first-class computer repair, including free local pickup and delivery, plus on-site service, including after hours. Contact Quigling Technology Services at 815-293-7844 or stop by at quigtech.com. That's QUIG Tech.com. Welcome back here on Wilmington Wildcats Weekly, brought to you once again by Breezer Construction Company. I'm joined by the head coach of the Wildcats, Mr. Jeff Reintz. And Coach, it's kind of a strange game on Saturday, and the fact that things just seem kind of weird going into that game. But you guys put it together. A couple of nice passes from Keaton, their quarterback. Your defense did a nice job all night, and you get a win in the first round of the playoffs. And like you said that night, a win is the important thing, and we move on to week 2. But a few things struggled at times, but you seem to put it together, and defense always the most important thing. You can stop everybody else, and you got to win, and you move on.
Yeah, we did, and like we said, yeah, we weren't at our best. Although I will say defensively is one of our better games, but offensively, special teams, we're just excuse me, we're just sputting around and not doing things correctly, and don't know if it was because there was no JV game that the whole night was just different. Maybe we were a little tired coming off the Coal City game, but for whatever reason, we weren't playing at our best. But hey, give credit to Brentfield. Elmwood did a nice job of doing some things against us, and so let's give them credit first. And they're a playoff team too. Did a nice job, and so a lot of good things from their aspect. But we could play better.
Yeah, just some weird things. One, the fumble in the end zone, which we didn't see because everything was kind of screened from us. And of course, at Catbackers the other night, we saw that there was a slip there, and that's why the pitch kind of went back in the end zone. We didn't know if there was a snap that was dropped there or what. But that was one weird thing, and then of course the punt return for a touchdown with a kid who's got some dangerous speed and just some lanes open there. But other than that, no points.
No, it did. So I guess officially we did a shutout, but you can't give up the turnover in the end zone, and you can't give up the kickoff return. Now the one in the end zone, sometimes the ball bounces a certain way, and it just bounced against us that night. Dempsey didn't want to trip and fall, and Hopwood wouldn't have pitched it if he would have known that. But sometimes that happens, but the kickoff return or the punt return, that's not good, and that's stuff that we worked on during the week. And one thing when you play all these good teams and you get shown every week, this is where you're doing well, and this is where you need to improve, and we were showing that against Brentfield.
Were they giving you different looks defensively than you thought, or was it just one of those nights where you just couldn't seem to get some things going?
They were doing some different things defensive line-wise that we didn't anticipate. Usually, though, we're able to adjust and make those adjustments. And the other night, maybe it was because Blake went out of the game or whatever, we just didn't make those adjustments as quick as we could. And our kids started I guess thinking too much about who they were supposed to block instead of just coming off the ball strong like we usually do. And we got to get back to doing that this weekend against Farmington.
Now you go a much longer road trip than we've taken at any point during the year, and you go out to Farmington, which is more or less in the middle of nowhere, against a team who is now 10-0 and has beaten that same Elmwood Brimfield team and had no problems with Winnebago, who we've seen before in the playoffs. That comes out of a tough conference. So this game's kind of a big one. This is this toughest game of the year up to this point.
Yeah, I would say so too. I think we're playing a quality team, and I think everybody that's in the playoffs right now is going to play a quality team. And we got a tough one here with Farmington. They got a class that's coming through that was 11-1 last year. This year they're undefeated. They're doing a lot of good things, and we probably be the underdogs because here we are going on the road down there. So our kids understand that. They understand it's a playoff type of atmosphere, and it's winner moves on and loser goes home, and we don't want to be on that side of it. We've had a good week of practice, and I think our kids are refocused after the game that we had at Brimfield. But you got a big play team in Farmington that we have to make sure that we don't give up that huge play a lot. They do a good job both passing and running the football, and defensively they do a good job of getting to the ball. So we're playing a quality team, and it should be a great game.
They run kind of that spread offense, but as we saw the other night, some of that read pass type of option stuff, which has become so popular at all levels. But a couple of dangerous guys there, including the quarterback, who hasn't always been a quarterback.
Right. Last year he was one of the stud running backs, and this year he's moved to quarterback, and he's used those running back skills to do a heck of a job at quarterback. He still does a good job of throwing the football, but where I'm impressed is the way he, when they call run plays for him, he's very good. But also when he drops back to throw and then scrambles, he's somebody that we got to contend with. And we've been working on it during the week, and no matter how much you work on it, he's still going to get some of his yards. We just got to try to contain him, not getting big chunks of yards.
And offensively, you seen anything defensive-wise that they present that might be a problem, or is it just kind of same old?
Well, the thing that's unique with our offense is you can watch film on how they defend other people, but a lot of those are spread, so you're just not quite sure what you're going to get when it gets to double tight and double wing like with us. So there's a lot of coaching going on right at first with us. We think we got a good idea of what they might present, but we'll have to see when the game starts. And one of the biggest things that happens with us is when our kids come off the field after that first series and they talk to Coach Murphy, they talk to Coach Southall, and we start making our adjustments. And so we'll see what we get. And, it's a fun part about playing a new team.
And lastly here, I know Blake went out with an injury last week. Kind of where do you stand as far as injuries?
You know what? Blake's come back really well this week. I thought he was going to be done for the year, but it was a low ankle sprain, not a high one. So he's been practicing well during the week. And everybody else is doing well. I mean, we've had some kids that have been out, all year long, but, happy that strength-wise we're doing pretty good right now.
All right, Coach. Good luck this afternoon. Again, we'll talk to you in the postgame.
All right. Hey, thanks a lot, John.
Coach Jeff Rains joining us here on Wilmington Wildcats Weekly, brought to you by Breezer Construction Company. Take one more break, come back with opening kick, an early one today, 2 o'clock start from Farmington here in Week 2 of the playoffs. Back with that kick in just a moment. You're listening to the Wilmington Wildcats on the Christian Internet Sports Network.
Phelan Acres Bible Church is the perfect place if you are looking for a church to call home. They have services every week, including Sunday school at 9:45, morning worship at 11, and Wednesday night prayer meetings at 7. Phelan Acres Bible Church is located at 26009 Willow Lane in Wilmington, Illinois. And for more information, call 815-476-7818. That's 815-476-7818. If you're looking for more information on Wilmington Wildcats football, then check out the Catbackers every Wednesday at 7 at Tuffy's. Each week, Coach Reentz goes over game film, takes questions from the audience, and presents the Offensive and Defensive Player of the Week awards. Plus, you'll get to hang out with other Wildcat fans and get the inside scoop on next week's game. So be sure to check out the Catbackers every Wednesday at 7 at Tuffy's.
Back as we get set for football here this afternoon from Farmington. The Cats waiting in the end zone for the Farmers to take the field. And yes, you did hear that right. It is the Farmington Farmers. And that is a very accurate name for where they're at.
Obviously logical. Farmington Farmers.
I'm like, Cats and Farmington this week, one loss between the two of them. And I'll tell you this much. These two teams have decent-sized lines. They've got a little bit of speed. And this could be a very even matchup here this afternoon. And not only that, whoever wins this game, no matter what happens today, has an uphill battle next week against IC.
Yeah, it's going to be a real tussle. Whoever wins this game is going to go up against IC, and IC is just literally rolled over everybody till Piatone last night.
Yep, until Piatone
last night gave him a battle till toward the end of the game.
I mean, let's go at it for this aspect, though. They already had their starting quarterback gone for the year, and at least we are kind of told that we think they're down to the third string, and if that's the case, that's pretty impressive. You're still winning with their third-string quarterback, if that's indeed the case.
Oh, the depth of the talent they have, there's not anybody that quality in the 3A in the state, I don't believe.
So Farmington takes the field in their all-purple uniforms with gold letters, numbers, and I guess that's a star in the side of the helmet.
Looks like it.
Have you ever seen their logo, by the way?
I have not.
It's a farmer with a piece of straw sticking out of his mouth.
Really?
Yeah, it's like a cartoon farmer with a piece of straw.
That's pretty cool. I don't know.
I will say at least it's different.
I wonder what the star has to do with it.
I'm not exactly sure. Yeah. You know, on our way over here, I was thinking, man, if the fog gets much worse, we're not going to see this game.
And the fog is kind of cleared out.
But it's cleared off pretty well. I mean, when we first got here, you could barely see the other side of the stands. And now you can see clear past the farm on the far side of the field. So it has cleared out a little bit. You know, initially, if you're back in Wilmington or in that part of the state anyway, it's been pouring down rain all day. That is not the case here. I mean, it's cloudy. We have a little bit of fog, and there's been some mist, but nothing big, at least at this point.
Well, there's a concrete pad right over there to our right, toward the end of the field, and it's got water standing on it. So they've had some rain, but not, like you said, not that much. It's going to interfere with anything. I think the field should be in very good shape. By the way, I still think that looks like a farmer's field, too.
Yeah, it does kind of.
It does. Reminds me of it.
So Wilmington will be in their white uniforms today with purple helmets, purple numbers, purple letters, and Trey Shaw will get set to kick off right to left as we're ready for football this afternoon. Farmers will set up back around their own 10-yard line or so.
Kicking up for the Wildcats, number 23, Trey Shaw.
As Trey Shaw will get set to approach. Wilmington brought a decent number of people along.
Wilmington usually travels well.
Fairly decent-sized visitor stands here, by the way. Most schools in 3A have one little section like that, and they've got two. Trey Shaw approaches. Kick will come down at the 23, taken across the 30. Out to the 33, 35-yard line now goes the return. And Farmington will have it 1st and 10 as Cade Lansford return that for the Farmers. So Farmington will have Hayden Bratt, a 5'8", 180-pound junior, calling the signals today at quarterback. He is a former running back for this Farmers program. Now he'll line up out of shotgun. 2 receivers to the far side, 1 back to the near. 1st and 10 for Farmington from their own 35-yard line. Wilmington with that 4-down lineman front. And a run off the near side will pick up close to 4 yards. That's Hayden Bratt keeping it himself.
He looks like quite a load to bring down.
Anders Almberg with the stop for Wilmington. Bring up 2nd down and 6 for the Farmers. So again, 2 receivers to the far side, 1 back to the near. And now an offset shotgun formation with Bratt taking the snap, looks left side, fires, that's caught. Out across the 40 to the 45-yard line, and it is enough for a Farmer 1st down. On the reception was Jacob Uraz, a 6'4", 170-pound senior, and Uraz picks up 7 yards and a Farmington 1st down. I'll tell you this much, that play took a half hour to develop, but it did manage to pick up a 1st down.
Yeah,
that was the slowest looking pass.
And yet he was still wide open.
So 2 receivers to the far side, 2 to the near. Pistol formation this time around for Bratt and the Farmers. 1st and 10 from their own 46. Handoff comes right side. That gets met at the line of scrimmage and shoved back. Good reaction defensively up front by the Wildcats. And that was Dash Anderson, 5'9", 165-pound junior on the carry. He'll actually lose a yard, bring up 2nd down and 11. Actually lost close to 2. We call it 2nd and 12. And again, 2 receivers split out to the near side, 2 to the far. Pistol formation for the Farmers with Bratt calling out the signals. Ball resting at the 44 of Farmington. As the pass comes near side, caught across the 45 to midfield to the 40, 35-30, 25-20, all the way down to the 15-yard line before the tackle is made. The reception by Judd Anderson, and a 1st down for the Farmers. A gain of 48 on that pass play. And again, seemed like it took forever.
Yeah.
But I don't know what happened there defensively for the Cats. It looked like, I mean, I know it's a wide receiver screen and he cut it back to the inside, but
it was right in the middle of players, but they did a good job of avoiding them.
1st and 10 from the Wilmington 13-yard line. Keeping it this time is Bratt up the middle, and he'll get down to the 10, and that's about it. Pick up 3, maybe 4 yards. It'll bring up 2nd down. We'll call it 7 for Farmington. Ball back outside the 10-yard line.
So far, only once have the Wildcats actually stopped them for a yard loss.
9:15 to go opening quarter. Farmington got that opening kick, and has moved straight down the field. 2nd down and 7. We'll say from the Wilmington 10-yard line. 2 receivers to the near side, 1 to the far. And again, Brett will keep it. And again, he's stacked up for no gain. Boy, good job by the interior of that Wilmington line. Landon Flynn ends up getting off the bottom of that pile after he makes the tackle. Bring up 3rd down and 7 for Farmington. Well, Hayden Bratt, he's big, but speed is not his forte, although he's hard to bring down.
Boy, like then it had 3 guys to finally get him on the ground.
3rd down and 7 from the Wilmington 10-yard line. 2 receivers to the near side, 2 to the far. Bratt out of the shotgun with Dash Anderson to his right in the backfield. Farmington taking their time. Now Bratt shots back the pass, fires over the middle, caught down inside the 5 to near the 4. This is going to be close to a 1st down depending upon where they spot this. They're going to say 4th down. As Jacob Uraz on the reception. He'll pick up 6 yards, bring up 4th down and a yard for Farmington. The ball just inside the Wilmington 5-yard line.
Boy, Jacob is a nice big target. And he kind of lumbers across the middle. You get the ball in his hands, and he's another one of those guys that's hard to bring down.
Evan Marion, a 5'10", 210-pound running back in the backfield with Bratt this time around. And the handoff goes to the big back, and Evan Marion will be close to a 1st down. This just completely depends on the spot of the football at this point, and he does have it. Got just enough, about 1.5 yards. It'll be 1st and goal for Farmington at the Wilmington 3-yard line.
Who was the big guy?
Evan Marion. 5'10", 210 pounds. That's a big running back.
Boy, I tell you what, they got some hefty kids in that team.
Now in the backfield is Cade Lansford, 5'8", 155-pound senior, lined up behind Bratt. 2 receivers to the near side, 1 to the far. Again, out of shotgun formation, almost pistol here. And the handoff goes left side, and that looked fairly easy, as in for the touchdown is Cade Lansford. And Farmington leads it 6-0. Oh, that was way too easy. There was a huge hole off that left side. And the Farmers will send on Nick Johnson, a 6'2", 190-pound senior, to attempt the extra point here.
They, for the most part, didn't even act like Wilmington was there. They just kind of marched right down the field. It is in Wilmington's defense, this is a totally different kind of offense.
It is different. And usually when you have the spread and that kind of running attack, it's a quick attack.
And theirs is not.
It's not particularly quick. They're just big. And we have a flag on the play. It is offsides against Wilmington. Now, if you're Farmington, do you go for 2 or you just go ahead and kick this? And be basically a 2-yard, 2-point conversion. But it looks like Farmington's just going to go ahead and kick it anyway. Matter of fact, they're going to decline it. I think the kicker Johnson is just saying, listen, I'd rather have it farther away than closer.
Yeah. You don't have to go up so high with the ball. You can just do your regular kick then.
So Jacob Uraz to hold here for the Farmers. As snap a little high, but the kick by Johnson is no good. Pushed it wide left. Well, Farmington leads it 6-0 with 6:57 to go in the first quarter. Take a break, come back with more Cats football in a moment on the Christian Internet Sports Network.
If you need something done around your house, chances are Beth's Busy Bees can get it done. They specialize in residential and commercial cleaning, but they can also do lawn care, small home remodeling and repair jobs, and even things like caregiving. Beth's Busy Bees is a small family-owned business, and they will treat you right every time. Call 815-685-9111 for Beth's Busy Bees today. Warren's Collision Center is your hometown body shop. Your vehicle will get expert care with their drive-on frame rack and in their Bink spray booth. Warren's offers free estimates, pickup and delivery service, and they will get you set up with a loaner car while yours is in the shop. Warren's Collision Center is located at 242 North Front Street in Braidwood, or online anytime at warrenscollision.com. That's warrenscollision.com. Warren's Collision Center, where they care beyond the repair.
Well, it's 6-0 the lead for Farmington as they go straight down the field and get the first points of this game with 6:57 to go in the opening quarter. The extra point was pushed wide left, and now Nick Johnson to kick off left to right here. Back deep for Wilmington is Bolzer and also Jacob Rodewald. Rodewald drops it at the 6, then picks it up, and they're going to say he's down right there. Boy, that's a rather large mistake.
Yeah, what he did was he put his knee down when he went to get the ball. And so when he picked the ball up, he was automatically down.
Well, now Wilmington backed way up down to the 6-yard line. Be 1st and 10 for the Cats from there. Again, Wilmington's first look at this Farmington defense.
Well, one thing about it, if Wilmington can control the ball, they can keep it that much longer. They got it farther if they don't make any mistakes.
So Keaton Hopwood under center, back to the double wing for the Cats to get things started here this afternoon. Pitch back to Lombardi across the 10, out near the 12-yard line, and a good gain on first down for Wilmington. Matteo Lombardi kind of bouncing his way through that offensive line. A gain of 5, bring up 2nd and 5 for the Wildcats.
Again, he did his little selective running. He stepped off to the right just a little bit, went up and then back to the left. Got himself 5 yards, almost 6, but we'll call it 5.
So again, Lombardi to one side, Connor Dempsey to the other, and Josh Jones back there at fullback. Hopwood under center, pitches it back to Lombardi. He gets over across the 20 to the 25. 2 flags come in, one from one end of the field and one from the other end of the field. So we'll see what this is. And this is against Wilmington. That's a big penalty here, opening drive. And it's a block. Oh, a block below waist on Farmington. Okay. Well, and there were 2 flags that came in on it, so it was definitely obvious.
So who?
So that will be.
Was that Lombardi again?
Yes. So this is going to move it all the way out to the Wilmington 35-yard line. Boy, that's a big penalty against Farmington.
Yeah. We're going to give him about another 5-6 yards in the run.
All right, again, the Cats back to double wing here. They run the clock, 6 minutes to go opening quarter. A 6-0 lead for Farmington, and now we have a whistle, and I guess they hadn't blown the play clock in yet, so there that goes. And Wilmington facing what looks to be a 4-4 defensive front. And now somebody moves for the Cats. Looks like somebody on the left side of the line. It might have been Blake Geis who jumped. Not really sure, though. Bring up 1st down and 15. It's good to have Blake back, by the way.
Yeah, it is.
He went out with an injury last week. Ended up being a ankle problem for Blake, but toward the middle of the week, it seemed like he was getting back to mostly healthy, and he's back out there at left tackle. 1st down and 15. Back to the double wing again. Pitch to Lombardi. Across the 30 to the 35-yard line. Picks up close to 5 on 1st down. Bring up 2nd down and 10 for the Wildcats. The problem you're facing if you're Wilmington is, as a running offense, you can't give up offensive penalties.
No.
There's just not enough room out there to get 3 and 4 yards a carry and have to get 1st and 15. 2nd and 10 for Wilmington from their own 35. Again, back to the double wing. Pitch back to Lombardi. Tries to go right side. Pounds his way up the middle across the 40 to near the 42-yard line.
Good run.
A gain of 7 more from Matteo. Actually, close to 8. Depends on where they spot this. 7 will be 3rd down and 3 for the Cats. The ball almost to the 43-yard line and need to reach just the other side of the 45 for a 1st down.
Nice run by Matteo that time. Good power running. Not so much finesse that time. He lowered his head and just drug him with him.
Third down and a short 3 for the Cats. They started this drive at their own 6-yard line. Now they're out to the 42. Pitch back to Lombardi, trying to cut his way back. He's going to have the first down. Boy, that's just good running by Mateo. Patient, got behind his offensive line, just shoved that whole pile forward. He'll pick up 4 yards and a Wilmington first down out to the 46, close to the 47 of the Wildcats. Well, so far, if you're the Cats, Farmington has shown no propensity to stop the running game. And even just kind of the base stuff that's been going on here.
Yeah, it's been very successful by the Wildcats.
Back to the double wing again. Here comes the snap and the handoff back under. Dempsey around the corner, inside the 40, 35, and finally gets knocked out of bounds at the 33-yard line. On the tackle for Farmington was Jack Fletcher, a 6'10", 210-pound senior. And Wilmington will have it first and 10 from the Farmington 33-yard line. A gain of 21 on the run by Connor Dempsey.
That was an opposite direction, misdirection play, and this time it went from Mateo after having him all 5 times to Dempsey.
Hopwood back under center, first and 10, pitches it back to Dempsey inside the 30, bangs ahead down near the 27-yard line, and a nice gain on first down for the Wildcats, a close to 7 off left side, as Connor Dempsey just kind of worked his way to the outside, bring up second down at 4 after a gain of 6. 3:35 and counting here in the first. And so far, this has been a very fast first quarter. So second down at 4. Josh Jones still in there at fullback. Lombardi at one wing back and Dempsey at the other. Hopwood under center. Second down at 4. Pitch back to Dempsey again inside the 25. And gets down near the first down marker, again, depending on the spot of the football. Dempsey got down to the 22, well, maybe the 23 if they move it back out. I was going to say, that should be a first down, and it is a gain of 5 for Connor. Well, again, I'll go back to, there's nothing here that says they're going to stop the run, at least early.
No, not so far. I don't think Wilmington's got less than, well, they got one, nope, only one time 4 yards. Everything else more than that.
Back to the double wing again. In motion is Dempsey. Handoff underneath. Lombardi trying to get the corner. He slips and is not marked down. He'll get a yard, bringing up second and 9. And that's the problem today, is that this field is wet. It's been raining here most of the night and into the morning. It is not quick footing, that's for sure.
No, Lombardi does that quick step in, turn in toward the line of scrimmage when he finds his hole. And I found at that time his back foot slipped.
Bring up second and 9 for the Cats. Ball at the 21 of Farmington. Again, back under center. Hopwood, pitch left side. Dempsey cuts it back inside the 15, down near another first down. It's going to be just short of that first down marker at the 13-yard line. Good chunk of yards there on second down. Picks up 8. It'll bring up third and a yard for Wilmington from the Farmington 13-yard line. Let's see what Wilmington elects to do here behind this offensive line and some tight ends as well. This is Keaton Hopwood on the carry. He'll keep it himself, and he'll get a first down for Wilmington at the 10-yard line. Give him credit for about 3 yards. So Wilmington will have it first and goal from the 10.
So far, no turnover. Wilmington moving the ball very, very effectively.
And this is exactly what you want if the Cats, or for the Cats, is that to hang on to the football, burn a bunch of this clock, get points, and then see what your defense can do. Back up under center, first and goal from the 10. And we've got a flag on the near side. It will be a legal procedure on the Cats, and that's another 5-yard penalty that you just cannot afford to have. Be first and goal now from the 15.
It's our third penalty of the day so far. And we aren't out of the first quarter yet.
Down to 1:15 to go in the first. 6-0 the lead for Farmington. Wilmington has a nice drive going, but they get down to the 10, and now that 5-yard illegal procedure makes it 1st and goal from the 15. Again, back to the double wing. Hopwood taking his time under center, pitches it back to Lombardi, hops over defender and gets down near the 10-yard line. Again, that's a good gain on 1st down, but when you're looking at 15 yards on 1st down instead of 10, makes things that much more difficult. But 2nd and goal now from the 10-yard line, a gain of 5 for Mateo. The winner of this game will get IC Catholic next week, as IC defeated Piatone 29-16. All right, back to 2nd and goal from the 10. Everything packed in for Wilmington. Pitch back, and Connor Dempsey's going to get a couple, 2, maybe 3.
Number 55 went in low and got in his way.
Yeah, that would be Jack Fletcher, 6'2", 210-pound senior. And now Wilmington facing a position that is kind of strange for them. 3rd and goal from the 8-yard line. Brings us to the end of quarter number 1. Farmington 6, Wilmington nothing. Take a break, come back with the 2nd quarter in just a moment. You're listening to Cats Football here on the Christian Internet Sports Network.
Teresa's Family Styling Salon in Wilmington is an all-ages salon that will style your hair for that special look. They offer cuts, perms, and coloring for any fashion. They also carry Paul Mitchell and Brocato products. Teresa's Family Styling Salon is located in the Southgate Plaza in Wilmington, and you can call for an appointment at 815-476-1955. That's 815-476-1955. Racchetti's Cafe and Pizzeria in Coal City is all about relaxing with family and friends while sharing an authentic Italian festival of food. They are the home of the Chicago-style deep dish pizza, but they also have a full menu including pastas, burgers, salads, and more. Check out all of their daily specials too online at racchettis.net. Racchetti's Cafe and Pizzeria is at 375 South Broadway in Coal City, and they are open till midnight or later every night. Stop in for an authentic Italian experience at Racchetti's.
Back here on the Christian Internet Sports Network, Wilmington will be facing a 3rd and goal from about the 8-yard line. First play of the 2nd quarter. Again, Hopwood under center, back to the double wing for the Cats. Handoff Dempsey underneath, inside the 5, and that's going to be about it. Bring up 4th and goal from the 5-yard line. And again, if you didn't have that penalty in 1st down, there's your 10 yards.
Yep.
But there was. And now Trey Shaw on to attempt this field goal. The problem today is this field is slick, and we've seen that already. And the kicker for Farmington's already missed one wide left. It's not particularly good footing. So Josh Jones to snap, John Golson on the hold, and Trey Shaw to attempt the kick. Good snap, good hold. The kick by Trey is good. And Wilmington gets on the board. It's Farmington 6, Wilmington 3 on a 21-yard field goal by Trey Shaw. We'll take a break, come back with more of the 2nd quarter in a moment here on the Christian Internet Sports Network.
Pro Real Estate is a family-owned business established in 1983. Its staff and sales agents work in all areas of real estate sales, from first-time homebuyers to experienced investors. Located at 506 South Water Street in Wilmington, clients are welcome to stop by to discuss their real estate needs or visit our website at pro-homes.net. For a private consultation, contact us at 815-476-7916. Breezer Construction Company is a proud supporter of Wilmington Wildcats football on the Christian Internet Sports Network. For over 40 years, Breezer Construction Company has led the way in providing quality construction to the industrial, utility, and pipeline industries. For more information on Breezer Construction Company, go to breezerconstruction.com. That's breezerconstruction.com. Or call 815-521-0900.
6-3 is the lead for Wilmington here with 11:16 to go in our opening half as Trey Shaw will tee it up and kick off left to right here in Farmington. Boy, it seems like it's been a long time since we've seen the Farmers offense, and that's because it has been.
Yep.
That was a time-consuming drive for the Wilmington Wildcats. Used up about 2/3 of that first quarter. And the first minute or so of the second. Now Trey Shaw to approach and kick off from the 40. This will come down along the 25-yard line, across the 30, out to the 37, and there is a flag down late. And that came in right at the end of the play on the tackle. See what this is. It is a hold on Farmington. Well, that's good news for Wilmington. It'll back the Farmers up 10 yards. They'll start back at their own 27-yard line. The thing for Wilmington is they got to figure something out defensively because the Farmers went straight down the field in the first drive of the game. Now, the problem is that the kind of offense that they run with a shotgun, almost pistol formation look at times, and then you don't know if they're going to pass or run, either one, is something that Cats haven't seen a whole lot this year.
You don't know till right at the very end what they're going to do, so just before they do it.
Trips receivers to the far side, snap really high. Bratt will keep it. He'll get out to the 30-yard line. Actually, a really nice play by Hayden Bratt because that thing almost went straight over his head. Picks up about 4 yards. Bring up 2nd and 6.
Once again, not pretty, not quick, just powerful. He drug a guy with him for a ways.
Second down and 6 for Farmington. Ball just across their own 30-yard line. Again, trips receivers to the far side, one to the near. Out of the shotgun, basically pistol, though, is Hayden Bratt with a running back to his right, about a step behind him. Handoff comes near side, and this gets blown up out about the 34. Good hit by Connor Dempsey. As taking the ball around the left side was Dash Anderson. And Dash will pick up about 4 more yards. It'll bring up 3rd down and 3 for Farmington from their own 34-yard line. Good pursuit by Connor. He made a nice hit toward the end of that. One thing about it, I don't think this is going to be a 50-45 shootout.
Not the way we're going here. Each team keeps the ball about 5 to 6 minutes.
2 receivers to the near side, 2 to the far. Again, out of that shotgun formation is Hayden Bratt with one back to his right. And this will take the snap, looks right side, fires. That pass is caught out near the 41-yard line. A gain of 7 and a Farmer first down.
Pass complete to number 22, Chad Anderson. Play good enough for a Farmer. 1, 2, 3.
That is Dash Anderson on the reception for the Farmers. Make it first down and 10 for Farmington at their own 41. As Cats trying to figure out something defensively here. Snap back to Bratt. Fires deep down the right side. That is incomplete. Overshot his intended receiver, Jacob Uraz, down at the 30-yard line. Bring up 2nd down and 10 for Farmington. Mateo Lombardi out there in coverage and had some help from Connor Dempsey over the top, but I'll tell you this, if that quarterback has that pass on the money, that's trouble. Yeah, he had a step or two on Mateo.
And that's 5 passes. That's the first one he's missed his receiver with.
That's not an easy throw. I mean, that's a low percentage completion rate, but if you do hit that,
oh boy,
there are some problems. 2 receivers to the far side, 1 to the near. Bratt, again, out of that modified pistol formation, will hand it off to, I believe this is Anderson off that right side. He gets stacked up, will get out to the 44, close to the 45-yard line. Landon Flynn on the stop. That is Judd Anderson. Actually, no, that is still Dash Anderson.
Was it Judd or Dash?
It is Dash. It's hard to tell between 20 and 22 from this far away with gold numbers. They kind of meld together after a while.
It's not easy, and the numbers are kind of close together, too.
Well, this is a big defensive down for the Cats. 3rd down and 6 for Farmington from their own 45-yard line. Trips receivers to the near side, 1 to the far. Snap back to Bratt. He'll keep it, looks left side, fires over the middle, incomplete. And they're going to throw a flag on John Golson, and that was pretty good coverage. I mean, maybe he might have had the left arm on his back, but if he did, it was barely.
Yeah, that was a pretty close call. Women's going to suffer the consequences of it.
I mean, the only thing, he got to the ball ahead of time, but that left arm might have been wrapped around him and back, but it'd be a 15-yard penalty and a first down. Well, that's a big call because that gives the Farmers a first down at the Wilmington 40.
Yeah, and that only happened because they had to change their play in the backfield. Gave the play a longer time to develop, and John got out of position.
I guess technically that's probably PI, but that's close.
Yeah, it's
First
called that
and
way.
10 from the 40 out of the gun. Bratt drops back, fires deep down the right sideline, and it is incomplete. Really good coverage out there by, I believe that's Bolzer, who ended up taking Anderson up the sideline. Bring up second down and 10 for Farmington. That was Judd Anderson, the intended receiver. And by the way, that's why that's confusing, because there's two Andersons, and both are wearing very similar numbers.
20 and 22.
And they're both the same size almost. So second down and 10 for Farmington. The ball at the Wilmington 40-yard line. The Cats trying to come up with some way to make a defensive stand here. It's not like Farmington scored 40 points, but neither team has made a stop.
And you can't hardly blitz because of the way that you don't know whether they're running or passing. They keep switching it.
Two receivers either side, handoff up the middle, and what a play. I believe that's Anders Almberg in the middle of that, and it is.
Four Wildcats.
Wraps up Anderson right at the line of scrimmage. That is a beautiful play by Anders Almberg. Kind of shed the block and attack the running back, and it'll bring up 3rd and 10.
I mean, he came by him, and he reached around and grabbed him by the shoulders and stopped him cold.
So I'll bring up 3rd down and 10 for Farmington from the Wilmington 40-yard line. Again, shotgun formation with really a back about a yard and back and to the left of Bratt. Trips receivers to the far side, one to the near. Bratt fires over the middle, incomplete, and a nice hit on that play by John Golson. And that time he says that's not pass interference.
Good job, John.
Pass a little tall for Judd Anderson, and right there was John Golson. It'll bring up 4th down and 10. Of course, this is go-for-it territory for Farmington. At least I would anyway. If you punt it, you might gain 20 yards, but I think at this point, 15 to 20 yards isn't going to be end of the world anyway, unless they do some sort of quick kick out of this, but I don't think that's going to happen. Trips receivers to the near side, one to the far. Again, out of the gun is Bratt with one back to his right. Snap back to Bratt, drops back, screen pass along the far side, and that's blown up. A gain of 1 yard. That's it. Boy, what a nice job. Connor Dempsey out there read that thing all the way. And the pass goes for a gain of 1 yard for Dash Anderson. Boy, nice job by that Wilmington defense. Now the Cats take back over on offense, see what they can do here. By the way, shockingly enough, the sun is about ready to make an appearance.
It is.
I don't think anybody thought that was going to happen today.
And now Wilmington needs to take it all the way down. Run the clock out. They can almost finish the half.
I mean, speaking of the clock, there's only 7 minutes left in the half. Again, double wing here. Handoff goes to Dempsey, sheds a tackle across the 40, across midfield. Connor Dempsey up the sideline, 30, 20, and finally shoved out of bounds around the 18-yard line, and he should have been stopped at the 39. Right at the line of scrimmage, broke that tackle and then took off. A gain of 40 yards on the run by Connor Dempsey. Be 1st and 10 for Wilmington at the 21-yard line of the Farmers, where they say he stepped out of bounds. Well, that's a nice run by Connor.
Boy,
used power at the beginning to get out of a tackle and then turned on the jets up the sideline. 6:45 to go in the half.
Ball on the 21-yard line.
Wilmington 1st and 10, back to the double wing. Pitch back. Lombardi got hit in the backfield, but he gets out of that, springs ahead, and gets down to the 16-yard line. And there's a really late flag. I mean really late. That almost has to be a personal foul or unsportsmanlike conduct, something along those lines. Because I'm telling you, that was a good 10, 15 seconds after the play was over, so we'll wait and see what that call is. But, boy, again, a Wilmington running back gets hit in the backfield. This time it's Lombardi, and he spins off and gets 4 yards. And it's a personal foul against Farmington. Boy, that's a big penalty. That's going to move it even closer.
One thing I'll say for Farmington, when they get a penalty, they get big ones.
That was a gain of about 4, maybe 5 from Lombardi on the run. And then with the penalty, half the distance to the goal, Wilmington will have it 1st and 10 from the Farmers' 8-yard line.
Well, the coach is not pleased with him.
And I don't blame him.
I don't blame him
Can't
either.
afford those kind of things. So back to the double wing. Handoff goes right side. Good kick out block. This gets down to the 5-yard line. Matteo Lombardi on the carry. Bring up 2nd down and goal from the 5. They're back down in Trey Shaw's field goal territory for sure. We saw him make one of those already, but you'd rather have a go-ahead touchdown here.
That you would.
6 minutes and counting in the first half. This has been a lot of clock running here in the first half, but that's okay. A lot of long drives.
That's why Wilmington likes it.
Handoff goes right side. Big hole, and Matteo Lombardi is in for the touchdown. Touchdown, Matteo, 5 yards. And Wilmington leads it 9-6 with 5:43 to go in the opening half. Boy, there was a big, big hole off that right side. Good kick out block. Matteo patient, cut it right back up the inside, and into the end zone it goes.
Yeah, that's just what I was going to say. Do you notice his patient running again? He didn't just go smashing in the line. He worked around the right side there a little bit and then cut in.
So Wilmington up 9-6, 5:43 to go in this half as Golson to hold the kick here from Shaw. And did it sneak in? It did inside that left upright. And Wilmington leads it 10-6, 5:43 to go in the half. We'll take a break. Come back with more Cats football in a moment on the Christian Internet Sports Network.
When you need the very best representation on your side, the attorneys and staff at Odekirk Allred and Associates are here to help with extensive professional experience in cases involving criminal defense, divorce, custody, personal injury, residential real estate, and driver's license reinstatement. Odekirk Allred and Associates and its diverse team is prepared to commit personalized attention and aggressive representation to achieve positive outcomes for your most stressful legal issues. Odekirk Allred and Associates has a team of highly skilled attorneys from the area, including Wilmington locals. Odekirk Allred and Associates takes pride in its communication skills and unmatched reputation for success. Contact Odekirk Allred and Associates at 815-740-1700 or stop by their new office location in Wilmington at 1095 South Water Street for your free consultation today.
10-6 is the lead for Wilmington, as we're down to 5:43 to go in the half. And once again, I've seen nothing from Farmington that would lead me to believe that they could stop the running attack of the Wildcats. And if Wilmington can get a couple of stops, unless Farmington makes some adjustments at the half, which we see that a lot. It's possible that there's some adjustments, and Farmington does a lot better with that in the second half. But so far in the first half, I've seen nothing to lead me to believe that they're going to stop that on a regular basis anyway. Wilmington stopped themselves with some penalties.
There's the real question. Can Wilmington stay away from the penalties, too?
So Trey Shaw kicking off left to right into what is kind of sunshine here this afternoon. Taken down at the 10, 15, and runner slips to the ground around the 20-yard line, and that's been a little bit of a story in its own today.
Yeah.
That was Dalton Powell, a 5'8", 135-pound sophomore trying to return the kick.
He went to make a sharp cut, and his feet went out from underneath him, looked like and then flat in the ground.
So Farmington back at their own 21-yard line. Be 1st and 10 for the Farmers there. So one receiver to the near side, 2 to the far, and then out of that shotgun or kind of adjusted pistol, if you will, is Brett with one running back to his right. Now Brett to keep it, big hole up the middle. And he'll churn it out for 4, close to 5 yards on first down. Again, Hayden is not a fast runner. He was a running back here last year, by the way, at quarterback. But he is big and has just enough speed to be a problem.
He's only a junior, too.
Yeah, he's 5'8", 180 pounds, which is a big kid for a quarterback.
Yeah, it's probably why they went ahead and switched him this year, because he adjusted this year. He's still got another year to go.
2 receivers to the near side, 1 to the far, 2nd down and 6 for Farmington. And we've got a flag down on the far side, and it is, might be offside on Wilmington. Nope, illegal procedure on Farmington. So it will go from 2nd and 6 to 2nd and 11. So 2nd down and close to 11 for Farmington here. By the way, be sure to stick around for our halftime show today, brought to you by Ricchetti's Cafe and Pizzeria. Ricchetti's over there in downtown Coal City. Be sure to stop in and say thank you and get a bite to eat while you're in there. We appreciate their support. We'll have your first half stats. We'll also get you set for the second half and have our first check of the IHSA football scoreboard, brought to you by Odekirk Allred and Associates. We'll do all of that at the half here this afternoon. 2 receivers to the near side, 1 to the far. Bratt takes the snap, fires down the right side, and that is incomplete. Brock Bolzer ends up breaking it up.
Well, he got his hand on the ball and pulled it out of there, I think.
Brock never really turned back around to look, and that's what the fans here were upset about, because Brock's got to turn his head back and locate the football, bring up 3rd down and 11. But really, he wasn't quite close enough to commit pass interference.
I was going to say
he was close
enough,
but not close enough.
What happened was it took a little while to get there. While he was coming down with the ball, he got up to him finally and knocked the ball out of his hands. So he really wasn't person to person with him.
It'll bring up 3rd down and a long 10 for Farmington. Again, shotgun, 2 receivers to the near side, 2 to the far. Bratt will take the snap, drops back to pass, fires right side, another screen, and this is going to be a 1st down out to the 35-yard line. A gain, actually 36, a gain of, call it 15 yards, and a Farmer 1st down. The ball at the 36 of the Farmers, and Wilmington has a player down at the 27-yard line or so.
While they're doing that, did you see who the receiver was? Okay.
I believe it was Judd Anderson. But, again, they tried to run that screen pass in a different way last time, and it didn't work so well, trying to leak it back out of the backfield. This time they went with that wide receiver screen, which has worked before, and it worked again. Picked up a good chunk of yards, and we'll take a break here, come back and check on the injured Wildcat in just a moment. You're listening to Wilmington Wildcats football on the Christian Internet Sports Network.
Quigley Technology Services is your local source for computer help. They have built numerous websites, including ours, here at the Christian Internet Sports Network. Quigley Technology Services also specializes in virus removal, so your computer will get back to full speed now. And you can trust them for first-class computer repair, including free local pickup and delivery, plus on-site service, including after hours. Contact Quigley Technology Services at 815-293-7844 or stop by at quigtech.com. That's QUIG tech.com. Phelan Acres Bible Church is the perfect place if you are looking for a church to call home. They have services every week, including Sunday school at 9:45, morning worship at 11, and Wednesday night prayer meetings at 7. Phelan Acres Bible Church is located at 26009 Willow Lane in Wilmington, Illinois. And for more information, call 815-476-7818. That's 815-476-7818.
Well, the injured Wildcat was Brock Bolzer, who has to go out of the game, and he is over at the trainer's table now. And Wilmington will burn a timeout here. They had to try to get a substitute in at the last second and try to figure out what to do with that, and that's why they burn a timeout here. Make sure everybody's on the same page. 4:11 to go in the half. 10-6 the lead for Wilmington. It's 1st and 10 for Farmington. Ball out at the Farmers' 36-yard line. And I believe Antonio Tafoya will replace Brock Bolzer at that defensive back spot. Tafoya, 5'7", 135-pound junior. And that's a thing where just going to have to kind of make it work here because Brock did not look like he was going to be coming back in anytime soon. Had to be helped off the field, and they're taking off his shoe on the far side. Problem, it looks like maybe an ankle issue again, so we'll see.
He's a key guy. He's the guy that does your punt return and stuff, and as well as playing defense. And this defense has done a nice job today.
So here we go, 1st and 10 for Farmington. Ball at their own 36. Again, 2 receivers to the near side, 1 to the far. Brad out of the gun, fires left side, caught. And that'll go for 3, maybe 4 yards as Jacob Uraz on the reception. Rodewald out there for the Cats. Looks like William Van Dyne out there, too, for the stop. 2 receivers to the near side, 1 to the far. 2nd down and 6 for Farmington. Down to 3:35 to go in the half from the 40. Brandt going to keep it himself. Oh, and he gets decleated at the 39-yard line. My goodness. Brandt a little slow getting up. And, I mean, that was laying the hammer down by Andrew Gramlich. All of a sudden, and Brandt's 180 pounds, all of a sudden his body just shot backwards. It'll bring up 3rd down and close to 7.
That was a beautiful, clean tackle that wasn't designed to hurt people, just to bring him to a close right there, and he did.
You could tell that one hurt, too, because Hayden
hit him so solid.
Took a second to get up and was kind of slow to get to the sideline. We'll see what they do here as he's back out there. 2 receivers to the far side, 2 to the near. Brandt out of the gun with 1 back to his left. 3rd down and 7 from the 40. Brandt fires far side, incomplete. Boy, really good coverage out there. They tried to run the wide receiver screen again. That was to no avail. John Golson on the coverage for the Cats. Knocked that away.
John's been right in there, and they've tried him on a regular basis. He's been up to it. Called that 1 penalty on him, and that was questionable.
So back deep for Wilmington is Rodewald. So Jacob Rodewald back deep. Now remember, Bolzer's been returning punts. He is not in. He's over on the sideline with an injury. So Rodewald back out there. Now he does return kickoffs, and he's had his share of work out here. The kick here is a line drive. Going to bounce at the 25. Rodewald is going to let it go, and it drives all the way down to the 11-yard line, and that's where Wilmington will take over 1st and 10. Not really sure why Rodewald is tracking that all the way back to the 10, but in any case, Wilmington will have it 1st and 10, 2:28 to go in the half, and I believe Wilmington has 2 timeouts remaining. This is a long field to go in 2:28, though. One thing you don't want to do is give it right back. You get a 1st down and use some clock, you'll be fine with that.
Yeah, just hang on to the ball and move it down the field steadily, even if you don't get a score out of it.
1st and 10 for Wilmington. Ball at the 11, almost the 12. Back to the double wing for the Cats. Handoff comes right side. This is Lombardi out to near the 15-yard line. Going to pick up 2, close to 3. We'll see if Farmington bothers to use a timeout at some point here. We're probably waiting to see what happens on 2nd. Bring up 2nd down and 7 for the Cats. Ball out near the 15. And Wilmington for sure in no hurry here. They don't need to be. They hold the lead, getting down toward the half. 2nd down and 7 for the Cats. Again, back to the double wing. Pitch back to Dempsey, trying to get the corner across the 15, 20. Dempsey to the 25, and is finally stopped there after picking up 10, close to 11. It will be a gain of 10. 1st and 10 for Wilmington from the 25. We're down to 1:35 to go in the game, and the clock is running. And the Cats taking their time a little bit here. Again, you don't want to rush yourself into a mistake either.
That's true.
Pitch comes right side. Lombardi trying to get the corner to the 30 and out to the 34-yard line. Finally tackled on the play by Jared DePriest, a 6'4", 270-pound defensive lineman. Now that's a big boy, 6'4", 270.
That's pretty good size. Isn't it?
The other defensive lineman out there is John Schmidjal. He's 5'9", 285.
Oh, is that all?
I mean, that's not a small defensive line to try to run against. So a timeout here to Wilmington. 2nd down and yard for the Cats at the 35-yard line. Let's take a quick break. We'll come back with more Wilmington football in just a moment on the Christian Internet Sports Network.
If you're looking for more information on Wilmington Wildcats football, then check out the Catbackers every Wednesday at 7 at Tuffy's. Each week, Coach Reentz goes over game film, takes questions from the audience, and presents the Offensive and Defensive Player of the Week awards. Plus, you'll get to hang out with other Wildcat fans and get the inside scoop on next week's game. So be sure to check out the Catbackers every Wednesday at 7 at Tuffy's.
Wilmington leads at 10-6. They'll have 2nd down and a yard. Ball just inside the 35 of Wilmington. Down to 1:13 to go in a half, and I think the Cats still have one timeout remaining.
Now, you don't want to try anything too wild. You want to make sure you keep that ball.
2nd down on a yard. Hopwood back under center. Again, double wing for the Cats. Pitch goes left side. Dempsey cuts it back. He will have the 1st down, but that's about it. And Wilmington might be okay with using some clock here, but we'll see. Coming up on 1:06 to go in the half.
I was going to run as many plays as I could, as quick as I could, but I wouldn't try anything too wild.
So it'll be 1st and 10 for Wilmington from the 37-yard line. Dropping back, Hopwood, and he steps up in the pocket, and now Keaton going to run with it across the 40, and will get out of bounds at the 41-yard line. Boy, that was a nice run by Hopwood just to get out of bounds and save Wilmington a little bit of time. 45 seconds to go in the half. A gain of 4 to bring up 2nd and 6 for the Wildcats. Be sure to stick around for our halftime show brought to you by Ricchetti's Cafe and Pizzeria. Sure to stop by Ricchetti's over there in downtown Coal City for their daily specials. Have a check of your first half stats. We'll get you set for the second half as well. And our first full check of the IHSA football scoreboard brought to you by Odekirk Allred & Associates. All of that coming up at the half. 2nd down and 6 for Wilmington from their own 41. Double handoff. This is Dempsey across the 40, 45, midfield. Dempsey to the 40, 35, all the way up the sideline, 30. Connor Dempsey all the way inside the 25-yard line with 33 seconds to go in the half. A gain of 30 yards on the run for Dempsey. They're going to say he's out at the 29-yard line. Well, the Cats have it 1st and 10 from the
nice run.
Farmer 29. Still some time here for Wilmington, too.
And
34 seconds.
He took enough time making that cut. I thought maybe he's going to give up his chance to get a gain. But then he worked his way through and then turned on the Jets, and down he went.
1st and 10 from the 29. Handoff comes back near side. This is Lombardi inside the 20, all the way down inside the 15 to near the 14-yard line. Make it the 13 even. And it'll be a gain of 16 yards and a Wilmington 1st down. As Hopwood will down it. And now 22 seconds left in the half. It will be 2nd and 10 for Wilmington. Ball down at the 13-yard line of Farmington. Now remember, if you're the Cats, you'd love to get a touchdown here. If you can get about 5 more yards or so, you're definitely within Trey Shaw's field goal range.
Yeah,
you need about 5 more to be somewhat comfortable. but you're down in an area where you could try it. Not that you want to, rely on that, but bring up 2nd down and 10 for Wilmington. Ball at the 13-yard line of the Farmers. Again, back to the double wing. Handoff, double handoff. Dempsey left side, inside the 10, and gets down near the 6-yard line. And a timeout to the Wildcats with 11 seconds to go in the half. So Connor Dempsey will pick up 7 yards on the carry. Wilmington will have it 3rd down and 3 from the 6-yard line of Farmington, and a timeout to the Wildcats here with 11 seconds to go in the half. No matter what, if you're Wilmington, don't force anything and get a turnover, and see if you can at least get 3 out of this and make it a touchdown game.
Is that all the timeouts for Wilmington?
That's it. That's it. So you can't afford a sack, and you can't afford to be tackled in bounds. So you really, it's one shot at the end zone here if you're the Cats, if you want to stay with 3 points. Now, if you want to take a shot on the ground and, and not overly concerned with the 3, I think you have something there that could pick it up maybe, but I would take one shot at the end zone here and then see what Trey has for you.
Don't throw it unless you got a good person to hit or wide open. If not, throw it out.
Once again, stick around for our halftime show brought to you by Ricchetti's Cafe and Pizzeria in downtown Coal City. First half stats, we'll check scores, do all that good stuff. But right now, there's still 11 seconds to go in the half.
Okay.
Make that 13. They put 2 seconds back on the board. So snap back to Hopwood out of the shotgun. Rolls right side, looking into the end zone. Fires. It is caught. Touchdown, Wilmington. Yeah! Touchdown, Wilmington. 16-6 with 6 seconds to go in the half. What a pass by Keaton Hopwood. And that is Connor Dempsey in the end zone for a huge Wildcats touchdown with just 5.9 seconds to go in the half.
Wow, is that ever important?
Boy, that is a big, big pass play from Keaton Hopwood. Stayed composed, rolled out to the near side, and found his receiver. Boy, big score for Wilmington. Now on is Trey Shaw. Good snap by Jones. Good hold by Golson. And the kick is good by Trey Shaw. That makes it 17-6 Wilmington with 5.9 seconds to go in the half. Wow, what a drive that was.
Whew, that'd take a breath out of you, won't it?
Just think back to this. The Cats had the ball at their own 10-yard line with about 2:25 to go in the half. And they go straight down the field, and with no timeouts, and 2nd and 3 from the 6-yard line, put Hopwood out on a rollout pass to find Connor Dempsey, and Wilmington goes up 17-6.
Yeah, you had that those 2 runs in a row, one by Dempsey of 30 yards and one by Lombardi of 16 yards, back to back, and it set up that opportunity to go for the score.
So Wilmington to kick off left to right with 5.9 seconds to go in the half. And Keaton lately throwing the football has had some decent success. Last week threw a couple of touchdown passes. This week has another one. And now Trey Shaw to approach to kick off from left to right here as we near the end of the first half. Shaw with a squibbed kick taken up across the 50 to the 48 with 4 seconds left. And now the Farmers are going to have a shot. And that kick only went about 12 yards. He was trying to get it over that first group of returners, and now you leave the Farmers with an opportunity. I'm not 100% sure he can get it into the end zone from here, but if he can, there is a shot. So we'll see if the Cats go to a deep shell here. More than likely put 3 or 4 backs back, but they'll just kind of match up.
Ready to help, Demps. Demps. Rhodey, back up. Tell Rhodey to back up.
Now First and goal for Farmington from the Wilmington 48-yard line with 4 seconds to go in the half. And this has ended up much more exciting than it might need to be. And there is a delay of game on Farmington.
Were they trying to draw somebody off sides?
So it'll be 1st and 15 for Farmington back at their own 47-yard line. And that might have not been the worst thing for the Farmers there anyway, because they were struggling to get something together.
They must not have had, their play between them all decided.
So one shot for Farmington here at the end of the half. Trips receivers to the far side, one to the near. Bratt out of the gun. Wilmington only rushing 3 as they fake the screen. And now they do throw the screen across midfield to the 40, and this will be out of bounds at about the 35-yard line. A gain of 15 yards on the screen pass to Judd Anderson, and that will do it for the first half. So Wilmington gets a score real late in the half with about 6 seconds to go in that first half of play, and they lead at 17-6 here at the half. Welcome into our halftime show brought to you by Ricchetti's Cafe and Pizzeria there in downtown Coal City. Be sure to stop by for their daily specials and thank them for their sponsorship of Wilmington Wildcats football. We'll take a break, come back with their first half stats. We'll also have a check of the IHSA football scoreboard brought to you by Odekirk Allred and Associates here in just a little bit. Wilmington leads at 17-6 at the half. You're listening to Wilmington Wildcats football on the Christian Internet Sports Network.
If you need something done around your house, chances are Beth's Busy Bees can get it done. They specialize in residential and commercial cleaning, but they can also do lawn care, small home remodeling and repair jobs, and even things like caregiving. Beth's Busy Bees is a small family-owned business, and they will treat you right every time. Call 815-685-9111 for Beth's Busy Bees today. Warren's Collision Center is your hometown body shop. Your vehicle will get expert care with their drive-on frame rack and in their Bink spray booth. Warren's offers free estimates, pickup and delivery service, and they will get you set up with a loaner car while yours is in the shop. Warren's Collision Center is located at 242 North Front Street in Braidwood, or online anytime at warrenscollision.com. That's warrenscollision.com. Warren's Collision Center, where they care beyond the repair. Teresa's Family Styling Salon in Wilmington is an all-ages salon that will style your hair for that special look. They offer cuts, perms, and coloring for any fashion. They also carry Paul Mitchell and Brocato products. Teresa's Family Styling Salon is located in the Southgate Plaza in Wilmington, and you can call for an appointment at 815-476-1955. That's 815-476-1955.
Heroin. I am Matt Baskerville. As a funeral director in Will County, I can tell you firsthand that I have seen results of heroin overdose.
Plainfield Shorewood, 4 dead. Lockport, 5 dead. I am Reagan Freitag. As Wilmington's local prosecutor and Will County board member, I can tell you I have seen the trouble and hardships of addictions.
Frankfort, Mokina, New Lenox, 6 dead. Bolingbrook, Romeoville, 6 dead. In Wilmington and Braidwood, heroin equals death or arrest.
Wilmington, Braidwood, 8 dead. Thanks to efforts of our local police departments, that number has dropped from 8 deaths in 2015 to 2 deaths so far in 2016.
If your family, your friend, or you are suffering from heroin addiction, there is help. Please call 815-476-1660 for more information.
Help is only a phone call away.
This ad is brought to you by the Wilmington Coalition for a Healthy Community in partnership with ONDCP and SAMHSA.
Back in the halftime show, brought to you by Ricchetti's Cafe and Pizzeria. Ricchetti's over there in downtown Coal City. Be sure to stop by for their daily specials. As we are at the half, 17-6 is the lead for Wilmington here over Farmington on the road. First and foremost, let's check those first half stats. For Farmington, rushing the football, Hayden Bratt, 6 carries for 15 yards in that first half. Cade Lansford, 1 carry for 3 yards and a touchdown. Dash Anderson, 4 carries for 9 yards, and Evan Marion had 1 rush for 1 yard in that first half. Farmington through the air, Hayden Bratt was 8 of 14 for 100 yards. Dash Anderson, 2 receptions for 5 yards. Jacob Uraz, 3 receptions for 17 yards. And Judd Anderson, 3 receptions for 78 yards, albeit a lot of those on screen pass type things. But still, 100 yards through the air, 28 on the ground, 128 total yards of offense for Farmington in the first half. For Wilmington, rushing the football, Keaton Hopwood, 2 carries for 7 yards. Connor Dempsey ran the ball 11 times. Is that right? For 136 yards? Yeah. Good grief. Mateo Lombardi, 13 carries for 73 yards and a touchdown. Through the air, Keaton Hopwood, 1 of 1 for 6 yards and a touchdown to Connor Dempsey. Wilmington, 26 rushes, 216 yards on the ground and 1 score. Keaton Hopwood through the air, 1 of 1 for 6 yards and a touchdown. Wilmington with 222 yards of offense in that first half. So they outgained Farmington 222 to 128. And I'll go back to what I said before. I see nothing here that tells me Farmington can stop Wilmington's attack.
I agree 100%.
Now, again, halftime adjustments, and Coach Reitz has been as good at that as anyone. Could make things a little bit of a problem if Farmington manages to adjust on some stuff, but I've seen nothing to this point that says Wilmington has had any issues. The only time they've stopped themselves was when they got the ball first and goal in the 10 and got a false start, and then they just didn't have enough room running the ball. They picked up 10 yards down to the 5, but they needed 15 with the penalty. So, in any case, Wilmington leads at 17-6 over Farmington here at the half. Well, we'll take a break. We'll take a full check of the IHSA football scoreboard when we come back. A lot of stuff going on around the area both last night and today. We'll check all those scores in a moment. You're listening to Wilmington Wildcats football, the halftime show brought to you by Ricchetti's Cafe and Pizzeria. Back in a minute to check the scoreboard on CISN.
Ricchetti's Cafe and Pizzeria in Coal City is all about relaxing with family and friends while sharing an authentic Italian festival of food. They are the home of the Chicago-style deep dish pizza, but they also have a full menu, including pastas, burgers, salads, and more. Check out all of their daily specials, too, online at ricchettis.net. Ricchetti's Cafe and Pizzeria is at 375 South Broadway in Coal City, and they are open till midnight or later every night. Stop in for an authentic Italian experience at Ricchetti's. Pro Real Estate is a family-owned business established in 1983. Its staff and sales agents work in all areas of real estate sales, from first-time homebuyers to experienced investors. Located at 506 South Water Street in Wilmington, clients are welcome to stop by to discuss their real estate needs or visit our website at pro-homes.net. For a private consultation, contact us at 815-476-7916.
What's up, man? Good to see you're here. Do you want a beer?
No thanks, I don't drink.
Oh, come on, relax. Have some fun. Everyone else is drinking.
We have a lot to do tomorrow, and I can't be all hungover from drinking.
Yeah, I'm having enough trouble with school, and sports, and clubs, and so much stuff. I don't have time to be worrying about if I got caught drunk.
Come on, man. This will help relax your mind and worries, and you'll have a good time.
Oh, man, cops. Run. We better book it out of here.
I'm so glad we weren't stupid and didn't drink. I know, right?
The Wilmington Coalition for a Healthy Community is committed and proud to bring programs and resources to help area residents. Our mission is to build a safe, productive, and substance-free community through these programs. The issues and problems that come with alcohol and drug abuse are very real, and the effects can be devastating. If you or anyone you know is in need of help, please call 815-476-1660. Help is only a phone call away.
This ad is brought to you by the Wilmington Coalition for a Healthy Community in partnership with Sebring Goodman Teen Institute, ONDCP, and SAMHSA.
Breezer Construction Company is a proud supporter of Wilmington Wildcats football on the Christian Internet Sports Network. For over 40 years, Breezer Construction Company has led the way in providing quality construction to the industrial, utility, and pipeline industries. For more information on Breezer Construction Company, go to breezerconstruction.com. That's breezerconstruction.com. Or call 815-521-0900.
Halftime show brought to you by Ricchetti's Cafe and Pizzeria over there in downtown Coal City as Wilmington leads at 17-6 over Farmington here in the second round of the playoffs. Got about 9 minutes before our second half gets underway, and a first half that Wilmington offensively dominated, although they had to settle for a field goal on one drive because of getting a penalty down at the 10-yard line. They got a penalty, moved it back 5 yards, and it made it first and goal from the 15, and Wilmington got back down to the 5, but that was it. Other than that, Farmington has not stopped the Wilmington offense at all, and let's be honest here, Wilmington has had their trouble stopping Farmington too, although they have done it, and that's really the reason why the Cats hold the 11-point lead that they do is because they made the one stop today. I mean, that's been it. There's been one.
Well, when Farmington comes to the line, I don't know. When Farmington comes to the line of scrimmage, they set up. You have absolutely no idea what they're going to do.
No,
absolutely
you don't know
not.
if it's going to be a wide receiver screen, a running screen, a deep pass, a quarterback run, anything. I mean, it could be any number of like 7 things.
They have the halfback or the fullback coming by and taking the handoff. The
only thing really to Wilmington's advantage is that I think clearly the Wildcats have a speed advantage. And I think it's a relatively large one. However, when you have to keep track of so many people and they're all big, it makes it very difficult to do. So, I mean, the
size goes to Farmington. They have
a gigantic defensive line. I mean, it's gigantic. It's like playing Byron again.
Yeah, you're like 275 and up pounds.
All right, let's go and have a check of the IHSA football scoreboard brought to you by Odekirk Allred and Associates. Big thank you to them for sponsoring the scoreboard again all year. Odekirk Allred and Associates has offices in Joliet and now an office in Wilmington as well. Let's start off in Class 3A, shall we? IC Catholic, a 29-16 winner over Piatone last night, although it was a close one out there in Piatone, and the Blue Devils gave it a run, but IC ends up getting the win. Also in 3A, these are scores that are ongoing today. Jonesboro, 22-8 over Pana. It's Williamsville, 22-14 over Bloomington Central Catholic. Remember that name, Williamsville. That's state championship a few years ago.
Oh, yes.
Byron and Monticello tied at 14. Both of those teams are in this side of everything, so whoever gets past IC would probably get one of them, Byron or Monticello. Vandalia 27-6 over Greenville. It's St. Teresa 21, Carlinville 20, and Newton leads Pleasant Plains 21-15. All those games underway, and all of them in 3A. In 4A, Dixon, the Dukes, lead Genoa Kingston 21-7. Raby leads Richmond Burton 22-18. Raby, of course, out of Chicago. It's Heron 14, Unity 12. And Morris, my goodness, 48-7 over Ridgewood in the second round there.
My.
So Morris rolling today. Other games in 4A that will take place later on. Highland and Effingham will be at 3 o'clock. So that game just getting underway. Johnsburg and Rochelle will kick off at 6 tonight. And Rochester and Belleville-Altoff at 5 o'clock later tonight. As we move up to 5A, it's Richwoods trailing Morton 28-21 and Washington 24-13 over MacArthur. The other games in 5A, Marion and Glenbard South about ready to get underway. Chicago Phillips and Solario Academy will play tonight at 7 o'clock. It's Hillcrest and Glenwood at 5. Lamont and Lakes will play at 6 o'clock tonight. In 6A, Springfield Sacred Heart Griffin, a 30-0 lead on Marmion Academy. It's also Providence 16-7 over Normal Community West. Prairie Ridge 17, Cary Grove 13. Nazareth 33-3 over Danville. It's Willowbrook 15, DeKalb 10. And Hoffman Estates 42-14 over Lake Forest. Couple other games happen on later on in 6A. Belvedere North and Grayslake North will be at 4 o'clock, and Hinsdale South and St. Lawrence will be at 6. Providence leading Normal Community West 16-7. Providence, I think, is 5-4 or 6-3.
Yeah.
They had 59 playoff points.
Oh, my.
By comparison,
what a schedule.
By comparison, I think Wilmington had 32.
Wow.
That's a lot of wins. A lot of wins. All right, 7A, Mount Carmel 14-13 over Normal Community. That is a final. Mount Carmel gets the win. East St. Louis 14-10 over Buffalo Grove. Lincoln Way East 21-11 over Hersey. It's St. Rita 14, St. Charles North 7, Batavia and Wheaton North tied at 14, Lake Zurich 24, Plainfield North 3.
Ooh.
And later on tonight, Rockton Montaha against Bennett Academy. That'll be at 6:30. Alton and Lincoln Way West just starting as they are 0-0. In 8A, Barrington and Minooka. Minooka won 41-34 over the 2 overall seed in 8A in overtime once again. Naperville Central 31-28. That is a final over Homewood Flossmoor. Marist 6, Curie nothing. Edwardsville 6-0 over Palatine. It's St. Charles East 14, Lincoln Way East 12. Oswego leading Glenbard West 24-20, and Loyola 28-7 over Hinsdale Central. The only other game in 8A will be tonight, Maine South and Warren. And that is a complete check of the IHSA football scoreboard, brought to you by Odekirk Allred and Associates, with offices in Joliet and Wilmington. About 3 minutes away from a kick here in the second half. We'll take a break. We'll come back with that opening kick of half number 2 in just a moment. You're listening to Wilmington Wildcats football on the Christian Internet Sports Network.
Quigley Technology Services is your local source for computer help. They have built numerous websites, including ours, here at the Christian Internet Sports Network. Quigley Technology Services also specializes in virus removal, so your computer will get back to full speed now. And you can trust them for first-class computer repair, including free local pickup and delivery, plus on-site service, including after hours. Contact Quigley Technology Services at 815-293-7844 or stop by at quigtech.com. That's QUIG tech.com. Phelan Acres Bible Church is the perfect place if you are looking for a church to call home. They have services every week, including Sunday school at 9:45, morning worship at 11, and Wednesday night prayer meetings at 7. Phelan Acres Bible Church is located at 26009 Willow Lane in Wilmington, Illinois. And for more information, call 815-476-7818. That's 815-476-7818. If you're looking for more information on Wilmington Wildcats football, then check out the Catbackers every Wednesday at 7 at Tuffy's. Each week, Coach Reentz goes over game film, takes questions from the audience, and presents the Offensive and Defensive Player of the Week awards. Plus, you'll get to hang out with other Wildcat fans and get the inside scoop on next week's game. So be sure to check out the Catbackers every Wednesday at 7 at Tuffy's. If you need something done around your house, chances are Beth's Busy Bees can get it done. They specialize in residential and commercial cleaning, but they can also do lawn care, small home remodeling and repair jobs, and even things like caregiving. Beth's Busy Bees is a small family-owned business, and they will treat you right every time. Call 815-685-9111 for Beth's Busy Bees today.
Back as we get started for half number 2, as Wilmington leads it 17-6 over Farmington. The Cats' offense, for the most part, in the first half was basically unstoppable. The Farmers got one stop, but Wilmington had a first and goal from the 15. The Cats only managed to get 10 of those yards and then kicked a field goal. But other than that, Farmington has not really shown any ability to stop Wilmington's offense.
Yeah, I think one of the keys in it is what you were saying, too. I think the speed of Wilmington is, like you said, the speed of Wilmington is much better than the speed of Farmington. And when the guys get out there, they can pull away. And so far, we've had several good-sized runs. Connor Dempsey had one run for 30 yards. He had another one for 40. And Lombardi had that 16-yard run right before halftime. They can pull away from the defenders. The only way they can catch them is to cut them off.
Well, it's a 17-6 lead for Wilmington as we get set to start the second half. And as fast as that first half went, Farmington can't afford to get any farther behind because there might not be enough time on the clock to do any sort of comeback.
And here's a nice thing. I believe Wilmington gets the kickoff and gets the ball first. So
I believe you're right. Yes, Farmington got the ball in the first half. So Wilmington will receive here in the second half, which means if the Cats can keep the ball and turn up some yardage, they could eat up a ton of clock.
They can really put the pressure on then.
But we always see in the second half teams make adjustments.
Oh, yes.
So we'll see what Farmington does defensively. Now remember, earlier this year, Elmwood Brimfield had a 12-0 lead at the half, and Farmington ended up winning that game 28-12. So you got to play half of the time and see what happens.
Be interesting to see how much they go to the pass the second half. Speaking of Farmington.
So Nick Johnson approaches. Here's a squib kick, takes a nice big hop, and Landon Flynn picks it up and churns out to the 39-yard line. And Wilmington will have it there, 1st and 10. So again, nothing so far seems to say that Farmington can stop Wilmington's offense except for when Wilmington gets penalties. But let's see what Farmington changes here defensively, or maybe some different things that they try to attack with. Cats will have it 1st and 10 from their own 39-yard line. 11:51 to go in the third quarter. Cats back to a double wing here. Hopwood under center. Hand off to Dempsey off the left side across the 40, 45. Dempsey makes a move to the outside, midfield, down to the Farmington 45, all the way to the 43-yard line. Boy, what a run by Connor Dempsey. A gain of 18 yards and a Wilmington first down.
His first run in the first half was 21 yards. His first run in the second half was 18 yards. Nice job of stepping over the tacklers, too. They were going down his feet. He put a hand on them, lift himself up a little bit, and went right over their hands.
So Cats at 1st and 10 from the 43 of Farmington as the Farmers show 4 down linemen here. Pitch back to Dempsey inside the 40-yard line. Gets piled up there around the 39. A gain of close to 3 for Dempsey. Looks like Hunter Bittner, 6'2", 190-pound junior linebacker for Farmington, makes the stop. Bring up 2nd down and 7.
That's a nice size linebacker.
Well, there's nobody really out there that's tiny. I mean, not at linebackers or linemen anyway.
No. This one defensive back over here is not too big.
So back to 2nd and 7. Again, double wing here for the Cats with Lombardi and Dempsey. Pitch back to Dempsey inside the 40, being patient. And breaks to the near side, inside the 30. Connor Dempsey, 10-5, touchdown Wilmington.
Wow.
40-yard touchdown run, Connor Dempsey. And it's 23-6. Wilmington with the lead. And again, on another play that looked like there was nothing there.
Yeah. They bunched up on that side to stop his run. Somehow in the middle of all the traffic, he weaved around those and got back out on the right side. Come down the other side, and 2 guys were going to cut him off, and he just outran them.
So a 40-yard run from Connor Dempsey makes it now a 23-6 lead. Trey Shaw on to attempt the extra point, and again a play where it's just Dempsey and Lombardi earlier just being patient and waiting for things to open up. This kick is good inside the right upright, and the Cats now lead it 24-6 with 10:49 to go in the third. Take a break. Come back with more Cats football in a moment on the Christian Internet Sports Network.
Warren's Collision Center is your hometown body shop. Your vehicle will get expert care with their drive-on frame rack and in their Bink spray booth. Warren's offers free estimates, pickup and delivery service, and they will get you set up with a loaner car while yours is in the shop. Warren's Collision Center is located at 242 North Front Street in Braidwood, or online anytime at warrenscollision.com. That's warrenscollision.com. Warren's Collision Center, where they care beyond the repair. Teresa's Family Styling Salon in Wilmington is an all-ages salon that will style your hair for that special look. They offer cuts, perms, and coloring for any fashion. They also carry Paul Mitchell and Brocato products. Teresa's Family Styling Salon is located in the Southgate Plaza in Wilmington, and you can call for an appointment at 815-476-1955. That's 815-476-1955.
So Wilmington leads it now 24-6 with 10:49 to go in the third. Trey Shaw to approach, kicking off left to right. And again, a pooch kick down to the 40 and a hit by Tafoya. Drops the
come on.
returner Blake Springer. And that will be decent field position for Farmington at their own 41, but there is a flag down at the 50-yard line, which looks like a personal foul against Wilmington, and it is. So that will mark it off down to the Wilmington 44-yard line. And first off, I'm not sure where the kick was going. I don't know if that was just a miss or what, but it only went about 15 yards. The attack on the personal foul, and Farmington's already knocking on the door. And at that rate, you might as well onside kick, I guess. So 2 receivers to the near side, 2 to the far. Brandt out of the pistol with 1 running back about 8 yards behind the line of scrimmage. That's a deep back. Handoff, and that goes nowhere. Gramlich there to absolutely eat that alive.
Wow.
A loss of about 2 yards. Looked like Evan Marion on the carry for Farmington, and that's a loss of 2. Bring up second down and 12. Boy, Andrew Gramlich, the 5'10", 180-pound senior, just made quick work of that. Bring up second down and 12. So it'll be second down and 12, close to 13. 2 receivers on the near side, 2 to the far. Out of the gun again is Brandt with a back to his left. Down to 10 minutes to go in this third quarter, and a timeout to Farmington.
They got some kind of confusion in Farmington. They called a timeout.
9:59 to go in the third quarter. Wilmington leads at 24-6. Take a break, come back with more Cats football in a moment on the Christian Internet Sports Network.
Ricchetti's Cafe and Pizzeria in Coal City is all about relaxing with family and friends while sharing an authentic Italian festival of food. They are the home of the Chicago-style deep dish pizza, but they also have a full menu, including pastas, burgers, salads, and more. Check out all of their daily specials, too, online at ricchettis.net. Ricchetti's Cafe and Pizzeria is at 375 South Broadway in Coal City, and they are open till midnight or later every night. Stop in for an authentic Italian experience at Ricchetti's.
So second down and 12 from the Wilmington 47-yard line. Brandt out of essentially the pistol again, drops back, looks right side, fires, caught and blown up immediately after a gain of 2. Again, Rodewald and Gramlich combined on the stop as that pass caught by Judd Anderson for a gain of 2 yards. It'll bring up third down and 10. So down to 9:30 to go in the third. And Farmington got ridiculous field position, but so far has not managed to gain a yard. Third and 10 from the Wilmington 44. 2 receivers to the near side, 2 to the far. Brandt out of the gun with 1 running back to his right. Jots back, here's a pump fake. They pass it down the middle of the field, and that is caught down to the Wilmington 20-yard line by Jacob Uraz, who just has the size advantage at that point. Rodewald back there in coverage, but Rodewald is 5'8", and Uraz is 6'4". So just not a whole lot you can do with that if it's thrown in the right spot. That is a gain of 24 yards. Bring up first and 10 for Farmington. The ball inside the Wilmington 20. 2 receivers to the far side, 2 back to the near. Brandt again out of that shotgun formation, and what is kind of an odd set with shotgun in that back to his right, but about a yard behind him and to his right. Handoff goes up the middle, and that gets stacked up for maybe a gain of a yard, and that's it. Boy, Wilmington there just kind of one person after another. Dempsey eventually makes the tackle. Dash Anderson gets 2 yards. It'll bring up 2nd and 8. As the clock rolls down under 8:30 to go in the third quarter. Farmington has it 2nd down and 8 from the Wilmington 17-yard line. 2 receivers to the far side, 2 back to the near. Out of the shotgun is Bratt. And 1 receiver in motion now to the far side to make it trips. Bratt looks left side, fires a pass into the end zone, and it is caught for a touchdown, and that was way too easy. I mean, ridiculously easy. There was nobody out there. Lombardi was about 5 yards behind the receiver, but Uraz with the touchdown reception makes it 24-12 with 7:58 to go in the third quarter. I mean, he could have underthrown that by a couple of yards and still been complete.
Go back to using the clock, huh?
Yep. So it looks like Farmington will go for 2 here to try to make it a 10-point game. 2 receivers to the far side, 1 back to the near. And snap back to Brandt. A flag down. The pass on the far side incomplete. That would not have gone anywhere anyway. Dempsey was out there in coverage. And incomplete. We'll see who this is on. And it is a sideline warning against Wilmington. Of course, why not? Might as well be one. Hasn't been one of those in a few weeks. So 7:58 to go in the third quarter. Wilmington leads at 24-12. Take a break. Come back with more Cats football in a moment here on the Christian Internet Sports Network.
Pro Real Estate is a family-owned business established in 1983. Its staff and sales agents work in all areas of real estate sales, from first-time homebuyers to experienced investors. Located at 506 South Water Street in Wilmington, clients are welcome to stop by to discuss their real estate needs or visit our website at pro-homes.net. For a private consultation, contact us at 815-476-7916. Breezer Construction Company is a proud supporter of Wilmington Wildcats football on the Christian Internet Sports Network. For over 40 years, Breezer Construction Company has led the way in providing quality construction to the industrial, utility, and pipeline industries. For more information on Breezer Construction Company, go to breezerconstruction.com. That's breezerconstruction.com. Or call 815-521-0900.
So Farmington takes advantage of a very short field. They tried to go onside kick, which is a great idea, but the problem is the ball didn't go 10 yards or was about ready to, but a very heads-up play by Wilmington to get on top of it at midfield because intelligently enough, the guy on the near side from Farmington knew to let it go 10 yards. He couldn't do anything with it until it did. And just when it crossed, Wilmington covered it up. So, and if that would have went 10 yards right off the bat, Farmington had the football.
Yeah, he'd have had it. But the problem is now they've given the Wilmington the ball in a good position.
Well, and in playoff games like this, you got to take some gambles. You just have to.
You do.
1st and 10 for Wilmington from midfield. Pitch back to Dempsey inside the 50 to the 45. Connor still going down to the 44-yard line of Farmington. A gain of 6 yards on 1st down. And again, you kind of see that run from Dempsey. He tucks himself in behind a couple of offensive linemen and just kind of tiptoes forward, waiting for something to break. That's what we talk about when we say patience of the Wilmington running game. It's not just hitting a hole and taking off. It's waiting for something to develop.
And it looks like it wouldn't work, but that's the way to do it. Let your blockers do their job.
2nd down and 4. Pitch back. Dempsey has another 1st down. Pounds ahead inside the 40. Down near the 38-yard line. Picks up 5 more yards. And again, Wilmington churning out yardage on the ground. As we approach 7 minutes to go in the third quarter, Wilmington leads at 24-12. So the Cats left with a short field here after the onside kick attempt by Farmington. Wilmington with 1st and 10 from the 38 of the Farmers. Pitch back. This will go inside the 35, down to the 33-yard line. That is Jacob Rodewald on the carry. And it just looked like Matteo Lombardi was not at full speed the last couple times around, even on defense. And Lombardi was in there at wingback last time too, so there might be something going on with Matteo. But Jacob is a very capable running back. Not only that, he is just a sophomore.
Yeah, he is.
So both he and Connor Dempsey will both be back next year. This will be the backfield next year outside of Josh Jones. Pitch back to Dempsey, and he'll get down near the 30-yard line. He'll pick up about 4 more. You know, it's been a long day for the Farmington defense. When they give up 4 yards, the crowd gets excited. But it's been one of those days. They haven't really had that many stops. And if you're Wilmington, this is 4-down territory anyway. So even if you just get a couple yards here, you pound it at them again. Clock down under 6 minutes to go in the third quarter. Wilmington with the ball, 3rd down and 4 at the 31 of Farmington. Again, back to double wing. In motion, Dempsey gets the pitch, and he's not going to have the 1st down, but it's going to be close. Nice job by that Farmington defensive line, kind of crashing back down on it. Stop made by Jared DePriest, the 6'4", 270-pound defensive lineman, and it's 4th and a yard from the 29 of Farmington. Now the Farmers crowd starting to make some noise, and you got a feeling if you're Farmington, this is kind of last gasp territory. They almost have to make a stop. 5 minutes to go in the third and a 2-possession game. Pitch back Dempsey. He is going to have the 1st down and have it relatively easily. He's going to pick up a good 2 or 3 yards. And we'll call it 3. And a Wilmington 1st down. Boy, you can tell where when they really need something, where they go.
Yeah.
Left side, Connor Dempsey. Run behind Blake Geis and put Dempsey out there and put it in his hands.
You got to have a yard.
Yep.
That's where you go.
So 4:30 to go. 1st and 10 for the Cats. And the handoff again off the left side. Dempsey pounds it ahead. Gets about 4, close to 5 on 1st down. So Wilmington still moving the football on the ground and doing so fairly straightforward. I mean, there hasn't been a lot of trickery on this or any sort of double handoffs or anything yet. It's just been straightforward handoffs.
I like to see them run exactly the same play but don't hand it off.
Well, you never know.
He come around the opposite direction. They are really keying on Dempsey right now.
Well, the problem is for Farmington, though, even though they're doing that, Wilmington's still picking up 5 yards at a clip. So 2nd down and 5 for the Cats. Ball at the 21, pitch back, Rodewald inside the 20. Jacob pushing the pile forward near a 1st down marker at the 16-yard line. So call it a gain of 3, close to 4. Wilmington will face 3rd and a yard inside the 20 down to the 17-yard line of Farmington.
Did you say that was Lombardi?
I meant, no, Rodewald.
Rodewald, oh. I'm going to say Lombardi's back in, huh?
So I'll bring up 3rd and a yard here for Wilmington. And again, you're comfortably in 4-down territory here for the Cats. Hopwood back under center. 3rd down and a yard from the 17. Keaton's going to keep it himself, and he's going to have the 1st down to inside the 16-yard line. And if you're Wilmington, you can essentially burn the rest of the clock in this third quarter no matter what.
We're going to give Keaton 2 yards on that?
The gain of, about a yard and a half or so, close to 2.
Yeah, that clock was down to 2:59. Now running.
So 1st down and 10 for Wilmington. Ball just outside the 15-yard line of Farmington, down to 2:45 to go in the third. As Hopwood back under center, double wing here for the Cats. Pitch back, this is Rodewald, and Rodewald is going to lose some yards, and a decent chunk of them too. Loses about 5, and it's combining out there on the stop for the Farmers is Evan Marion along with Hunter Bittner. And the Cats are going to face second and long, 2nd and 15 from the 20-yard line of Farmington.
Boy, that was a big defensive play. And that thing wasn't open from the very beginning.
Well, and I mean, clearly the difference between Rodewald and Lombardi at this point in their careers is a relatively big difference. And Jacob's going to be a really good running back, and it's a good one now, but definitely missing Lombardi. As handoff goes left side, this churns inside the 15, down near the 13. And Wilmington will have it 3rd down and 7, close to 8, after a gain of 7 more for Connor Dempsey. And again, if you're Wilmington, you have a couple of options here. If you pick up 4 or 5 and you want to go for it on 4th, you have that opportunity. You're deep enough in the territory. And also, if we pick up 4 or 5 and you want to kick it, you have that opportunity. Now, kicking it wouldn't do you a ton of good because it'd still be a 2-score game, but it would make Farmington have to get a 2-point conversion at some point. So I formation for the Cats now. Hopwood under center, handoff, Dempsey left side. And Dempsey bounced free, but he does not get anywhere near the 1st down marker, picked up a couple. And it will be 4th down for Wilmington. It'll bring up 4th down and 5 for the Cats. Let's see what Wilmington elects to do here with 48 seconds to go in the 3rd quarter, and they are going to send on the field goal unit. Well, what this would do is it would make Farmington get a couple of touchdowns and a 2-point conversion, make it a little bit more difficult. Any way you look at it, Farmington's going to need 2 touchdowns at this point. So Trey Shaw on to attempt a field goal of 26, close to 27 yards, and the kick is no good. It is short. And Farmington will take over with 18 seconds to go in the 3rd quarter. This didn't look like Trey got all of that one.
No, it was really short. It was looked like he passed it into the ground or something, and it didn't get a good kick on it.
Well, Farmington will take back over things here. 1st and 10 from the 20-yard line. Well, it's been an interesting development that Lombardi hasn't been in there at wingback.
They needed him desperately right there.
Made it a little bit different for Farmington to try to stop. And they couldn't stop it up to that point, and even really didn't come close to stopping it on that drive until right at the last second. They turned Wilmington away, so give them credit on that. Brad shots back to pass, fires it over the middle. That's caught out to the 40-yard line, out to the 42. A gain of 22 yards on the pass play to Jacob Uraz. And now Jacob Rodewald is coming up limp. While the Cats are already without Matteo Lombardi back there. Brock Bolzer has a rolled ankle. Rodewald is not full speed either. Brad chops back, looks left side. Gramlich attacking, almost gets him, and now Brett is sacked. Back inside the 40 to the 39-yard line. That will be the end of the 3rd quarter after a loss of 4, as Farmington will face 2nd down and 14 as we go to the 4th quarter. Wilmington leads at 24-12, but their injuries are piling up.
Yeah, that's really important injuries too.
We're back with the 4th quarter in just a moment. You're listening to Wilmington Wildcats football on the Christian Internet Sports Network.
When you need the very best representation on your side, the attorneys and staff at Odekirk, Allred & Associates are here to help with extensive professional experience in cases involving criminal defense, divorce, custody, personal injury, residential real estate, and driver's license reinstatement. Odekirk, Allred & Associates and its diverse team is prepared to commit personalized attention and aggressive representation to achieve positive outcomes for your most stressful legal issues. Odekirk Allred and Associates has a team of highly skilled attorneys from the area, including Wilmington locals. Odekirk Allred and Associates takes pride in its communication skills and unmatched reputation for success. Contact Odekirk Allred and Associates at 815-740-1700 or stop by their new office location in Wilmington at 1095 South Water Street for your free consultation today.
Brad out of the gun, passes it over the middle. That pass is caught, and then the receiver hit immediately by Connor Dempsey. That is Judd Anderson on the reception, picks up about 4 yards. It'll bring up 3rd down and 6 for Farmington.
And they were 5 for 5 in passing in the second half. I wonder if they come out passing and see that that's a weakness.
And at Farmington, you almost have to pass at this point, not only because of the score, but Wilmington banged up all over the place at the moment. Even Keaton Hopwood now coming out here, matching up at a cornerback position. 2 receivers to the far side, 2 back to the near. Out of the gun as Bratt looks left side, now fires it deep down the right sideline. It is incomplete, and it will bring up 4th down. And that certainly looked like the receiver pushed off, but we'll see here who this is on. It's pass interference on the defense.
On defense, they're calling.
I'm not really sure how when the defensive back got shoved backwards, but I. We'll bring up 1st and 10 for Farmington from the Wilmington 38, close to the 37-yard line. Down to 11-14 to go in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, the coach is up here saying he came back to offensively, came back to make the contact, and yet they called the pass interference on Wilmington.
2 receivers on either side. Brandt pump fake again, goes deep down the sideline, and that is intercepted by Connor Dempsey.
All right.
As Connor Dempsey comes up with the football, they tried to go deep. Dempsey came across as a safety and picked off the pass as Wilmington kind of rotated defense to that side, and it will be a touchdown for,
touchback.
Be a extra point, or excuse me, almost a touchback, but it's not. It's inside the 5 down to the 2. It is at the Wilmington 2-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Cats.
Wow.
The 1st and 10 for the Cats. Ball at the 2-yard line as now Wilmington running it off the right side as they'll bang ahead out near the 5-yard line as the clock will continue to roll here. See who is Dempsey off that right side, picked up 3 yards. Bring up 2nd down and 7 for Wilmington.
Well, Wilmington needs to hang on to that ball and run that clock down without mercy and score some points at the same time.
Be down to 10:35 to go in the game. Again, Wilmington going I formation. The double wing with all the injuries here has caused Wilmington to kind of make a few adjustments as Hopwood under center will pitch it right side to Dempsey, and he fumbled the football, and I think Wilmington got back on top of it. Bring up 3rd down and long for Wilmington. That's kind of been a little bit of an issue for the Cats with the wingbacks just kind of dropping like flies. Rodewald's not at 100%, and he replaced Lombardi, who's out of the game.
Who was running the ball that time? Was it Dempsey?
Yes. Bring up 3rd down and 8 for Wilmington. Ball just around the 5, just inside the 5, near the 4. Hopwood back under center. Again, Wilmington goes back to double wing. Handoff goes to the fullback, Josh Jones, as he slams it out near the 11-yard line. I do not believe that's going to be enough for a 1st down, but it is close. It'll bring up 4th down and a yard, and it certainly looks like Wilmington is going to have to punt it away as we come down to 9-10 to go in the fourth quarter. Well, Wilmington's in a weird position with some of the injuries and some other things that caused them to adjust a little bit. Now, Rodewell was back in there that time around at wingback, but for sure, a bunch of people are playing less than 100%. And it will be a timeout to Farmington. 8:49 to go in the game. It's 24-12, the lead for the Wildcats. We'll take a break, come back with more of the fourth quarter in just a moment. You're listening to Cats Football on the Christian Internet Sports Network.
Quigley Technology Services is your local source for computer help. They have built numerous websites, including ours, here at the Christian Internet Sports Network. Quigley Technology Services also specializes in virus removal, so your computer will get back to full speed now. And you can trust them for first-class computer repair, including free local pickup and delivery, plus on-site service, including after hours. Contact Quigley Technology Services at 815-293-7844 or stop by at quigtech.com. That's Q-U-I-G tech.com. Phelan Acres Bible Church is the perfect place if you are looking for a church to call home. They have services every week, including Sunday school at 9:45, morning worship at 11, and Wednesday night prayer meetings at 7. Phelan Acres Bible Church is located at 26009 Willow Lane in Wilmington, Illinois. And for more information, call 815-476-7818. That's 815-476-7818.
Well, the punt for Wilmington is touched out at the Wildcats' 47-yard line, almost a 46, and Farmington will have a short field. However, the Farmers are starting to run out of time. 8:46 to go. Last time around, a great interception by Connor Dempsey, but the only problem with that was it left Wilmington backed up inside the 2-yard line, and it made things a little bit difficult on the offensive end. This time around, Farmington gets it at the Wilmington 47. 2 receivers to the far side, 2 back to the near. Brandt out of the gun. Now 1 receiver to the near side to make it trips. Brandt shots back to pass, fires down the left side. That is incomplete. And it'll bring up second down and 10 for Farmington from their 47-yard line of Wilmington. So the Farmers will face 2nd and 10 here. I think literally every single pass attempt, the crowd from Farmington wants a pass interference call.
Oh, yeah.
And there's not going to be one on 15 passes and 15 pass interference calls.
That was John Golson again in that defensive position. They have been testing him all day.
2 receivers to the far side, 2 back to the near. Brandt out of the gun here. 1 receiver in motion goes to the far side to make it trips. And, boy, I don't know what happened there. Just ball wasn't snapped, it looked like. Everybody on a false start for the Farmers. Bring up 2nd down and 15.
That's the first penalty they've had for a while now. They started out with 3 pretty quick ones.
That was just odd because it seemed like everybody but the center knew the snap count because everyone moved. Bring up 2nd down and 15. So the Farmers looking at 2nd and long here. Ball back into their own territory at their own 48-yard line. 2 receivers on the far side, 2 back to the near. Out of the shotgun again is Brandt. And 1 receiver headed to the far side. Brandt fires deep down the left sideline. That overshoots everybody. In fact, wasn't even close. The only receiver out there was Ethan Kenny. That will bring up 3rd down and 15 for the Farmers.
They started out 5 for 5. Now they've been 0 for the last 3 in passing.
Well, there hasn't really been any pressure on the quarterback, Brandt, but for the most part, it hasn't mattered a whole lot.
They've had good protection for the quarterback.
On the size of that line, they should.
Yeah. It's kind of hard to get through that.
So 3rd down and 15, 2 receivers to either side. Brandt out of the gun here with 1 back to his left, drops back, looks over the middle, fires a pass, picked off by Bolzer at the 50, 45, 40. Brock Bolzer all the way down inside the 30 to the 25-yard line. And Wilmington set up again deep in Farmington territory at the Farmers' 25. Well, Brandt tried to force one over the middle, and a nice job. I think it might have been Rodewald who had a hand on it, deflected it into the air, and Bolzer almost dropped it, but held on long enough to take off.
Yeah, there was that nice defensive play that tipped the ball up in the air. Then Bolzer came through there and snagged him out there, and I thought for a while he was going to drop it. But he managed to get control of it and run it down the sideline. Nice gain on it, too.
So 8:24 to go in the fourth quarter. Wilmington deep in Farmington territory at the Farmers' 25-yard line. Back to the double wing for the Cats. And I believe it's a different fullback as well.
It is.
The pitch goes right side. This is Dempsey. And he breaks free. Connor Dempsey, 25-yard touchdown run. And Wilmington leads it 30-12. Connor Dempsey cruising into the end zone. A huge hole off the right-hand side. And the Cats will get set to attempt an extra point here. As big touchdown for the Cats.
Where'd that come from?
I don't know, but that was just a gigantic hole off the right side. And Dempsey, you give him that kind of space, he's hitting the hole in a hurry, and did. So Wilmington will get set to attempt an extra point here, leading 30-12. As Trey Shaw on to attempt the kick here. Good snap, good hold. The kick from Trey is good as well. And Wilmington leads it 31-12 with 8:17 to go in the game. We'll take a break, come back with more Cats football in a moment on the Christian Internet Sports Network.
If you're looking for more information on Wilmington Wildcats football, then check out the Catbackers every Wednesday at 7 at Tuffy's. Each week, Coach Reentz goes over game film, takes questions from the audience, and presents the Offensive and Defensive Player of the Week awards. Plus, you'll get to hang out with other Wildcat fans and get the inside scoop on next week's game. So be sure to check out the Catbackers every Wednesday at 7 at Tuffy's. If you need something done around your house, chances are Beth's Busy Bees can get it done. They specialize in residential and commercial cleaning, but they can also do lawn care, small home remodeling and repair jobs, and even things like caregiving. Beth's Busy Bees is a small family-owned business, and they will treat you right every time. Call 815-685-9111 for Beth's Busy Bees today.
(31-12) is the lead for Wilmington here with 8:17 to go in the fourth. Shaw with a little bit better on the pooch kick here, down to the 30, out across the 35 and near the 40-yard line. So it'll be 1st and 10 for Farmington at their own 39-yard line. Well, now the Farmers are in a little bit of trouble.
Yeah.
Down 3 scores here with 8 minutes, and while they can pass the football, the problem is would you become only being able to pass the football, and makes things a lot more difficult. Trips receivers to the far side, one to the near. Bratt out of the gun with one running back to his right now. 1st and 10 from the 39. Bratt shots back to pass, rolls left side, looking downfield, hit as he throws. That's intercepted inside the 30, down to the 28-yard line. Another interception. Sam Hafner picks off that one. Josh Jones blew up Brett in the backfield. The ball shot forward, and Sam Hafner with the interception. And Wilmington deep in Farmington territory again at the 28, close to the 27 of the Farmers. And Wilmington knocking on the door one more time. So the Cats perfectly content to use some clock here and get another score. Back to the double wing here. Pitch comes left side. Is that Josh Jones at the wingback position inside the 25-yard line. Of course, they've kind of had to rotate a few people around. It'll be a gain of 3, make up 2nd down and 7.
He looks like a little lumber truck.
I like it. I mean, I like him there, especially when you need to get a few yards here and there. If
you need power,
he's a beast in the backfield. Yeah. Josh at 6 foot, 220 pounds. He played fullback most of the year, and he's at wingback right now because everybody's banged up. for Wilmington. Now Connor Dempsey at the other wing back. And the pitch back to Jones. And Josh bangs ahead for a gain of 2 or 3 more. You want to know how big and strong Josh Jones is? He carried Jared DePriest with him for 2 yards, and DePriest is 6'4", 270 pounds.
Yeah, you can tell the difference with Josh. He doesn't look for a hole.
No,
he
just
puts
goes.
his head down. And
yeah, that's fine.
he bores out 2 yards, just pure power.
So 3rd down and a long 4 here for Wilmington. Ball down to the 23-yard line of Farmington. 6:25 to go in the game. Wilmington leading 31-12. Again, back to the double wing. Hopwood under center. In motion is Jones. Hopwood's going to keep it. He's got tons of room inside the 15. Runs over a defender down to the 10 before he finally gets shoved out of bounds. And Jacob Smith tried to make a hit, and not Rodewald. I don't know why I have him in the brain. Hopwood runs over him. Ball gets all the way down to the 7-yard line.
16.
And wow, the one time Keaton Hopwood keeps the ball, and there's, speaking of farmland, there was a lot of it over there.
I was that earlier. They're always keen on that guy coming back the other way, and they didn't hand it off. And boy, that was a big complainer. 1st and goal for the Cats from the 8. This is Dempsey off the right side, gets shoved back inside the 5, down near the 4. But Connor's going to pick up close to 4 yards on 1st down, under 6 minutes to go in the game. And Wilmington knocking on the door again. They put in the end zone here, and it will be a knockout blow, I do believe. It's down to 5:45. They're also using a lot of clock this time.
So it'll be all inside the 5, down to the 4-yard line. Should be 2nd and goal from the 4 as Hopwood back under center. Again, back to double wing here. Pitch comes back to Josh Jones out of that wingback position. Dives for the end zone. Is he in? He is. Touchdown, Josh Jones and the Wilmington offense. And the Cats now lead it 37-12 with 5:17 to go in the game.
Wow. 3 interceptions. Can you believe that?
And that last one, I mean, it's technically credited as an interception to Brett, but he got hit as he threw, and it was just a couple of nice reactions.
Oh, yeah, right.
So Trey Shaw on to attempt the extra point here. So Jones scores the touchdown, and now will snap the extra point as well. And the kick is
he missed it.
No good. Wide. So no good. It'll stay 37-12 Wilmington with 5:17 to go in the game. We'll take a break. Comes back with more Cats football in a moment on the Christian Internet Sports Network.
Warren's Collision Center is your hometown body shop. Your vehicle will get expert care with their drive-on frame rack and in their Bink spray booth. Warren's offers free estimates, pickup and delivery service, and they will get you set up with a loaner car while yours is in the shop. Warren's Collision Center is located at 242 North Front Street in Braidwood, or online anytime at warrenscollision.com. That's warrenscollision.com. Warren's Collision Center, where they care beyond the repair. Teresa's Family Styling Salon in Wilmington is an all-ages salon that will style your hair for that. They offer cuts, perms, and coloring for any fashion. They also carry Paul Mitchell and Brocato products. Teresa's Family Styling Salon is located in the Southgate Plaza in Wilmington, and you can call for an appointment at 815-476-1955. That's 815-476-1955.
So the Cats lead it now 37-12 with 5:17 to go in the game. Wilmington is set to kick off, and for Farmington, I guess you keep throwing the football, but
I think I just run the ball and run the clock.
It's been difficult, that's for sure. Kick comes left side by Shaw. That's a decent kick. Bounces at the 25 and dies there. Picked up across the 30, 35, and out near the 40-yard line as LeMaster makes the stop here on the near side, and Farmington's going to have it 1st and 10 from their own 40-yard line, but the Farmers searching for anything.
they've gotten the ball this half on the, let's see, the 41, the 20, the 47, the 40, and the 40. Hey, good field position so far.
Well, 1st and 10 for Farmington, and they're just going to keep at it here. 2 receivers to the near side, 1 to the far. As, again, out of the shotgun is Hayden Bratt. As Bratt will hand it off right side. They tried a reverse, and that didn't go anywhere. That was blown up in a hurry. The pitch came back, and they tried to go to the opposite side with Judd Anderson. But there was just nowhere to go. Yeah. It'll bring up 2nd down and 17.
They were counting that pursuit of the quarterback to set him free, and it didn't work.
So 2nd down, 17 for Farmington. Wilmington, by the way, should they hang on here this afternoon, that looks like a foregone conclusion at this point. But should they hang on, they would take on IC next week in Elmhurst. Snap back, handoff goes up the middle. Big hole across the 45, out near the 48-yard line. Nice gain there on 2nd down. On the run for Farmington was Cade Lansford.
Boy, he got a big gain. He almost got a 1st down.
He'll pick up 15 yards on that carry. And, of course, for Wilmington, you're not really looking for the run at that point. Bring up 3rd down and 2.
They're going to be content to run that running plays, and you better be ready for it.
So 1 receiver to the far side, 2 back to the near. Out of the gun again is Brandt with 1 back to his left. Brandt will hand it off right side. Another big hole down to the 40 of Wilmington. And again, a gain of 12. But if you're the Cats, you will gladly give up yards at this point. Under 4 minutes to go. And I don't really know if Farmington can afford to keep handing the football off, but that's...
Who ran the ball that time?
So 1st down and 10, Farmington from the Wilmington 40. Handoff right side, and Lansford will pick up about 3 yards there. By the way, be sure to stick around for our post-game show brought to you by Warren's Collision Center. Warren's, where they care beyond the repair, over there in Braidwood, right across from McDonald's. Big thank you to Warren and all the staff over there at Warren's Collision for sponsoring the post-game show this year. We'll have your final stat totals. We'll have one more check of the IHSA football scoreboard brought to you by Odekirk Allred and Associates. And we'll also talk to the head coach of the Wildcats, Mr. Jeff Raints. All that and more on the post-game show brought to you by Warren's Collision Center. Coming up on 3 minutes to go in the game, 37-12 the lead for Wilmington. As pass off the left side, incomplete. Bring up 3rd down and 6 for Farmington from the Wilmington 36-yard line.
He's going to try to dump that over the defensive line into the player's hand, and they got a little bit tip on the ball.
So 2 receivers over to the near side, 1 to the far. Out of the shotgun is Bratt. Takes the snap, handoff goes left side. That will get maybe a yard or 2. Nice job by Blaine Shirey on the stop for Wilmington. 4th down and 4 coming up here for Farmington, down to 2:40 to go in the game. Well, the Cats will be on the road at IC Catholic next week up in Elmhurst. We'll be there as well. Whenever we get the game time of that, we'll pass it along to you, and that sets up a rematch from last year.
Yeah, it sure does.
2 receivers to the far side, 1 to the near. And handoff goes right side. And this will not get a 1st down. Pick up close to 3 yards. And Farmington will turn it over on downs. And Wilmington will take over 1st and 10 from their own 32-yard line with 2 minutes left to go in this game.
That was pretty good stuff by the coach of Farmington. He just put in a running game right down the clock.
I mean, at that point, you've seen what happens when you had to go pass only, and it wasn't particularly pretty. And at this point, 3 or 4 score game with 3 or 4 minutes left. Yeah, just
you might as well just run the clock out and get rid of it.
Do what you can do. And the Cats will just take a knee run down the clock here. Under 2 minutes to go. Once again, be sure to stick around for our post-game show brought to you by Warren's Collision Center over there in Braidwood. We'll check the final stats here from this one. We'll talk to the head coach of the Cats, Coach Jeff Reintz as well, and then we'll have one more check of the IHSA football scoreboard here on the network. Wilmington will have to snap the ball a couple more times here as the Cats and Farmington both fine with just running this clock down as much as possible. There's no real need to try to risk anybody getting more injuries or anything like that here this afternoon. So Cats will have to take one more knee, and then that will pretty much do it. Once again, we'll be on the road next week in Elmhurst to take on IC Catholic. Make sure to check back to the website, Facebook page as well. We'll have that game time as soon as we possibly can for you. And we will be on the road next week with the Cats as well. So it's offense just ticking down the clock here. As down to 40 seconds. That was the third down snap, and it will be fourth down up next, which means the Cats more than likely, maybe this officiating crew will just hold it off down to 25 seconds, and that is what they're going to do. So they'll let this climb all the way back down, and Wilmington will have to take a snap on fourth down, or will they? I don't even think they'll need to take a snap. And the Cats are going to move to 10-1 on the year. Farmington will finish 10-1. A great year for the Farmington Farmers. And they put together a quality undefeated campaign up to this point. But the Wildcats get the win here this afternoon, 37-12 over Farmington. So the Cats will win it here today. Welcome into the postgame show brought to you by Warren's Collision Center. Warren's over there in Braidwood, right across the street from McDonald's, where they care beyond the repair. We'll be right back with your final totals, and we'll have another check of the IHSA football scoreboard in just a moment as well here on the Christian Internet Sports Network.
Ricchetti's Cafe and Pizzeria in Coal City is all about relaxing with family and friends while sharing an authentic Italian festival of food. They are the home of the Chicago-style deep dish pizza, but they also have a full menu, including pastas, burgers, salads, and more. Check out all of their daily specials, too, online at ricchettis.net. Ricchetti's Cafe and Pizzeria is at 375 South Broadway in Coal City, and they are open till midnight or later every night. Stop in for an authentic Italian experience at Ricchetti's. Pro Real Estate is a family-owned business established in 1983. Its staff and sales agents work in all areas of real estate sales, from first-time homebuyers to experienced investors. Located at 506 South Water Street in Wilmington, clients are welcome to stop by to discuss their real estate needs or visit our website at pro-homes.net. For a private consultation, contact us at 815-476-7916. Breezer Construction Company is a proud supporter of Wilmington Wildcats football on the Christian Internet Sports Network. For over 40 years, Breezer Construction Company has led the way in providing quality construction to the industrial, utility, and pipeline industries. For more information on Breezer Construction Company, go to breezerconstruction.com. That's breezerconstruction.com. Or call 815-521-0900.
Hey, Billy, where do you think you're going with that beer?
What's the big deal? He is at home.
Nice, Bob. Real nice.
Look, they're practically grown. They're juniors and seniors now, and they're here for the day. They're not going anywhere.
Yeah, that may be true for yours, but you can't let the others drink.
In Illinois, the social host law holds adults accountable for underage drinking.
If a minor who was drinking at your house injures or kills someone, you are guilty of a Class 4 felony. You get fined. You go to jail.
So, being the host, aka the adult, letting high schoolers drink is illegal.
Be their guide. Don't provide. If you or someone you know abuses alcohol or drugs, please call 815-476-1660. Help is only a phone call away.
This ad is brought to you by the Wilmington Coalition for a Healthy Community in partnership with ONDCP and SAMHSA.
Back on the Christian Internet Sports Network, welcome in to the postgame show brought to you by Warren's Collision Center, where they care beyond the repair. Big thank you to Warren and all of his staff and stepping up here this year to sponsor all of our postgame show reports here on the network. Wilmington wins it 37-12 over Farmington as the Wildcats will advance on into the quarterfinals next week against IC Catholic. Elmhurst will be along with you for that ride, too. We'll see one thing at a time here. Wilmington gets a win this week first, and then they'll advance there next week. Final stats, first off for the Farmington Farmers, rushing the football, Hayden Bratt, 7 carries for 11 yards. Cade Lansford had 6 carries for 38 yards and a touchdown. Dash Anderson had 11 yards on 5 carries. Evan Marion, 2 rushing attempts for -1 yard. Judd Anderson, 1 carry for -7 yards. Farmington, 21 carries, 52 yards, and a touchdown. Through the air, Hayden Bratt was 13 of 25 for 169 yards and a touchdown, but he also threw 3 picks today. Through the air, Dash Anderson, 2 receptions for 5 yards. Jacob Uraz had 6 catches for 80 yards and a touchdown, and Judd Anderson 5 receptions for 84 yards. Again, 169 yards through the air, 52 on the ground, 221 yards of offense for Farmington here today. But the turnovers were big. 3 interceptions for Hayden down the stretch. For Wilmington rushing the football, Keaton Hopwood, 4 carries for 25 yards. Josh Jones had 4 carries for 16 yards and a touchdown. Came in there late at wingback and kind of capped things off for the Cats. Mateo Lombardi, 13 carries, 73 yards and a touchdown. Jacob Rodewald, 3 carries for 3 yards. And Connor Dempsey, 26 rushes. Is that 261 yards? Yeah, that says 261. And 2 scores. Wilmington on the ground. Get this total. 50 carries, 378 yards, and 4 touchdowns. That's on the ground for Wilmington. Through the air, Keaton Hopwood only threw 1 pass for a touchdown. That was it.
6 yards and touchdown.
1 of 1 for 6 yards. That was a touchdown pass to Connor Dempsey right at the end of the half. And at the moment, that was a huge play. Because if you remember, there were 11 seconds left in the half. Wilmington's out of timeouts. They had the ball at the 6. They had 1 play, and then they would have to try a field goal. And Connor Dempsey rolled it to the end zone as Hopwood rolled out and stayed patient, waited for Dempsey to get open, and then fired a strike. And the Cats went up at that point 17-6 at the break. And then Wilmington just kind of poured it on late in the second half. And Wilmington ends up getting a 37-12 win over Farmington. The Wildcats finished with 384 yards of offense, outgaining Farmington 384 to 221. And the Cats, more importantly, get the win here this afternoon.
And a chance to meet IC.
Yep. Take one more shot at IC Catholic next week. You never know. Never know.
You're not going to get a state championship unless you go through them somewhere.
That's right. Yep. You got to beat them one way or the other. So.
It's either.
All right, one last check of the IHSA football scoreboard brought to you by Odekirk Allred and Associates. They have offices not only in Joliet but Wilmington as well. So one more check of that tonight before we talk to Coach Raintz from Wilmington here. From 3A, Jonesboro 22-14 over Pana. It's Williamsville blowing out Bloomington Central Catholic 45-14. Byron 21, Monticello 20. Those games are all still in action, by the way. Vandalia defeated Greenville. That's a final 27-14. Carlinville 33-21 over St. Teresa. And Newton 29-27 down to Pleasant Plains. That's in 3A. And, of course, IC last night beat Peatone 29-16. That's why Wilmington will travel to IC next week. It's Dixon 35, Genoa Kingston 21. That game has now gone final. We're up to 4A now. Highland 43-14 over Effingham. Final in this one as well. Raby 36-18 over Richmond Burton. Another final. Morris beats Ridgewood 62-7. Good grief. As the Redskins get an easy win there. It's Heron 26, Unity 18. That game's still ongoing. Later tonight, Johnsburg and Rochelle will play at 6. Rochester and Althoff Catholic at 5. In 5A, no finals there yet. These are all kind of in progress. Marion 24-17 over Glenbard South. Richwoods 42-28 over Morton. Washington 38-28 over MacArthur. Those games are all still ongoing. Later on tonight, Hillcrest and Glenwood at 5. Lamont and Lakes at 6. And Phillips and Solario at 7 later on tonight. In 6A, Sacred Heart Griffin 45-14 over Marmion Academy. That game is still ongoing. A couple of finals from 6A. Prairie Ridge 17-13 over Cary Grove. Willowbrook 29-10 over DeKalb. And Hoffman Estates 48-38 over Lake Forest. Those are all finals. Still ongoing. Providence blowing out Normal Community West 33-7 is the lead there. Nazareth 47-10 over Danville. And later on tonight, Hinsdale South meets St. Lawrence. That game at 6 o'clock. In 7A, couple of finals in 7A. Mount Carmel 14-13 over Normal Community. Batavia beats Wheaton North 20-19 in overtime. 27-9 Lake Zurich over Plainfield North. That game is final. All the rest of these games are ongoing. St. Rita 26-7 over St. Charles North. East St. Louis 26, Buffalo Grove 18. Lincoln Way Central 21-11 over Hershey. In 8A, some finals here from last night. Minooka held on in overtime to beat Barrington 41-34. It was Naperville Central 31-28 over Homewood Flossmoor. Lincoln Way East beats St. Charles East 15-14. And the final there, it was Oswego 24-20 over Glenbard West. Loyola defeats Hinsdale Central 28-7. Still ongoing, Marist a 23-0 lead over Curie. Edwardsville leads Palatine 28-14. By the way, if Edwardsville wins that game, they will play Minooka next week in Edwardsville, which means Minooka will have to drive 16 hours or whatever to get there. And one game later tonight, Maine South and Warren. That game's scheduled for 6 o'clock. That is a ridiculously full check of the IHSA football scoreboard. Brought to you by Odekirk Allred and Associates with offices in Joliet and Wilmington. Once more in 3A. Finals today, Vandalia 27-14 over Greenville. And from last night, IC Catholic 29-16 over Piatone. Ongoing in 3A, Jonesboro 22-14 over Pana. Williamsville blowing out Bloomington Central Catholic 45-14. Byron 21, Monticello 20. That game going down to the wire. Carlinville 33-21 over St. Teresa. And Pleasant Plains 29-27 late in that game over Newton. But the important thing, Wilmington wins here today. They will be on the road at IC Catholic. That game will be next week. And that game will be right here on the Christian Internet Sports Network.
Well, last time we were there, we were outside in a, what do you call that gizmo?
It was in a lift. It was an electronic lift.
And they pushed this thing and they raised us up in the air and let us stay there.
Which is fine.
If the weather's good.
Right. That's the only real concern. And I mean, honestly, I just as soon do games outside if the weather's halfway decent, but that's a big if, especially this time of year. You could get snow next week for all I know.
Most of this year, we could have done outside and been very, very nice. Question we got to address in Wilmington's situation.
Who's healthy?
I'm going to say injuries. We were without almost the entire defensive backfield in the last part of the second half.
Now, some guys finished the day, but did not do so at 100%. Jacob Rodewald finished the game, but he was not full speed. Bolzer finished the game. He was not 100%. You saw Josh Jones go to wingback toward the end of that fourth quarter to try to make sure some things would happen. But nobody, other than Matteo Lombardi, who I did not see come back in. I don't know what's going on with Matteo, but he did not come back in the game. So
if he wiped up his ankle or what he did, but he did not come back.
That's essentially everybody in the defensive backfield for Wilmington.
I don't remember time, all the years we've covered Wilmington, that they ever lost the whole backfield like that.
Well, we're waiting here in the last couple of minutes to talk to the head coach of the Wildcats, Mr. Jeff Raines. He's down there with an army of
newspaper
reporters talking to them, and then he'll be up here with us, and we'll wrap things up here today. It's Been an interesting day. I'll say that from beginning to end.
The prognostication about the weather came true.
It's
There's
true.
to be no rain this afternoon after 2 o'clock.
And there wasn't.
It stopped.
We'll talk to Coach Raints here in just a minute, get his thoughts on not only today's game, but his thoughts on IC as well.
I was going to say, do you know anything about IC? Except they're good.
Well, they're typically fast. I know that much. And they usually air it out through the air.
Oh, boy.
When they can. But the problem there is they do not have their first-string quarterback. I'm not even really sure they have their second-string quarterback. I think it's down to third. And, they have plenty of weapons. That's not a problem, but you might get a little bit of the mute button from some of that next week. Now, I would say if Wilmington was 100% full go, maybe they have something for them a little bit, especially with some people out. But it really just depends on who Wilmington dresses. Yeah, and who's playing full speed. That's really the honest.
Most of the year we've gone pretty well without injury. Just one or two here and there along the way. Boy, these last 2 games, it's taken a toll. Not serious injuries, but just nagging things. You can't play full speed. If you can't play full speed, then a lot of times you can't be used.
Well, Coach Raints here finishing up with 1 or 2 interviews down there, and then we will kind of finish up with him here. Next week we'll be at IC Catholic. That's up in Elmhurst. Of course, the time and all that yet to be determined. That could be who knows when. I was trying to remember last year. Was that a night game, or was that in the afternoon?
I think it was afternoon.
I couldn't remember if they started that game at like 2 or 3, or if that was like a 6 o'clock start.
Well, you know what? I don't.
Seemed like it was later.
Maybe you're right.
But I'm not 100% sure on that. I'm fairly sure if Coach Raints had his pick, it'd be at night.
If it's a place you're trying to get out of the wind to keep warm, that isn't the place to go.
No, that's true.
Up in that little thing in the air up under, about 30 feet in the air above everything else. Whew. Man.
So I'll have one more opportunity here to talk to Coach Raints before we wrap things up here tonight, provided that
I think he's down to the last one, maybe.
Things get finished up.
Oh, no. Here goes over another one there.
Down there. Well, I think he's talking with, I don't know if it's parents or coaches or who, but we'll get Coach Raints here in a second. Might be some alumni, too.
If his body language says anything, he's very much at ease.
Well, he should be. I mean, this is a game this afternoon that through the first half, Wilmington had a pretty firm control offensively on the way things were going. But once you started seeing some people get banged up in the second half, there were some pieces removed there. Then we ended up with a little bit different look. But they still managed to defensively force Farmington. I keep getting Farmington and Wilmington splits together, and they're both the same color too, which is the bigger issue. But Wilmington has forced Farmington into numerous mistakes here today. Matter of fact, 3 interceptions, and that was a big reason for the fact that Wilmington came out of here with more of a lopsided win. I think all things being equal, if the Cats have to go through that second half with a limited kind of lineup that they had to do it with, might have made things a little bit closer, but Wilmington got itself a little bit of a lead and then kind of pressed the issue a little bit defensively and forced Farmington into some errors. And when you do that, then it makes things a whole lot easier because Wilmington started getting the ball on the 30, 25, and all that on Farmington's side of the field. And whenever you get a short field, we saw that last week with Elmwood Brimfield. You give up a short field, then all of a sudden going 25 yards isn't as difficult as going 60 or 70, and all you need is a couple of plays. For the Cats here, they had no problem racking up offense. They had 350 yards rushing. They were closing in at 400 yards of total offense. Didn't even really try to pass the football at all, except for the one time that they had to at the end of the half. Mm-hmm. And quite honestly, they didn't need to. There was plenty there this afternoon to not have to throw the football. And that's the way Wilmington wants it. If Keaton only has to throw once or twice, and those 1 or 2 passes are for home runs, then you'll take that.
That game there went the way Wilmington liked for it to go every game. You have 1 or 2 passes, lots of running, lots of using the clock, and lots of yards eaten up so that you can just you control the game. And that's what they did. They took the game away from Farmington on their own field, and they had to go away from their diversity.
Well, that they did, and once Farmington, had to go one particular route, it made things a whole lot more difficult on them because the running game went away, and then all of a sudden the passing game was all they had left. So joined here on the post game by the head coach of the Wildcats, Mr. Jeff Ranson. Coach, that first half, it seemed like both teams are struggling a little bit to stop the other, but offensively today, even with some changes in the second half, with some kids getting banged up and things, that offensive machine just kind of kept rolling for you all day long.
It really did. I thought Barry Southlaw, Chad Farrell, Murph did a great job with their kids there. Offensive line-wise, let's give credit where it's due. Holes were there for them. Kids did a nice job there. We're very lucky to have number 7 on our side. He had a heck of a game. Josh played well, Jones. But no, when you lose Lombardi, you're kind of saying, okay, we got to have some guys step up, and boy, he did. And I tell you, we've had a lot of big wins. But to come on the road in the playoffs against an undefeated team, you miss one of your better kids. He's out. Brock went out, and we had to do some things there, and they just kept playing. And we had some kids come up with some great big plays with Demps leading the way on that.
And their defense, speaking of replacing people offensively, those defensive pieces now start getting shifted around. And, boy, what a huge second half. Your defense forced 3 turnovers and left you with a short field offensively and kind of flipped everything around a little bit.
I tell you what, I think a couple of kids I want to name is we haven't started Golson in a while, so we wanted to start another DB. He came in and played very well. And then DeFoya comes in because Lombardi goes out. So DeFoya comes up and gets an interception. What a great thing for him. And but I will say this, our best defense today too is not just our kids, but our offense staying on the field, keeping them away. So now it did get to the point there in the second half where, okay, we're going to play bend don't break. If you want to run the ball, that's fine. But we got to stay on top of the passing game. And then we just worked a few stunts in there, and our kids did a nice job of getting to the passer.
It says a lot. And one of the things we talk about during the year, too, is getting everybody in. Like you do on games where you can do that.
Exactly
These are the kind of reasons that all of those kids play earlier in the year because you need them here or later.
It really is. It's a great point, and it's great for our program because, maybe some kids that aren't playing a lot, we can go back now next week and say, keep practicing hard because you never know when your number's going to be called. And it was called today for DeFoya. It was called today for Golson, and they came in and did a great job. Rodewald got his name called because he had to come in for Lombardi running the ball and did a good job. But the rest of our kids didn't panic. I was happy about that. And where I think last week when we lost Geis a little bit, I think we lost a little mojo there, and we didn't ever find that back offensively where this game, hey, let's just go get them and play football.
Well, now you go into the quarterfinals, and, of course, the farther you go, the harder it gets anyway. But you get IC next week. And in a game, Piatone kept that close most of last night. In fact, had a chance to get even closer with an interception down toward the goal line late. And, that game there, it's kind of fun to be able to see what you could do and what you could put together to go up there and challenge them.
You better believe it. I know people, you got to play IC this or that. That's the way it is. That's the rules, and we got to go play them. Thank God we got an opportunity to play them. There we are coming into this game. Somebody asked me about IC, and I said, we got a great game right here we got to contend with. And so, we'll celebrate this tonight and get home, and we got a little trip home, but we'll get on the phone with IC and get our films exchanged. We'll get a time set. And, we were up there last year. We know what we're getting ourselves into from that standpoint, and we're facing a great team. And let's go see how we do. And, boy, I can tell you, stand in front of our team at the end of that game and congratulating them. That was a proud moment for me and our staff. And just looking at those kids, because they were doubted early this season, and nobody would have said, oh, hey, you're going to the quarterfinals this year. No,
That's true.
And so we just keep scrapping, and we keep winning ball games, and that's a credit to our kids and our coaching staff.
All right, Coach, congratulations on the win this week. Let's go up to IC and see what happens.
You got it, buddy. Sounds good.
So Coach Jeff Rinch joining us here on the post-game show as the Cats get a big win on the road, 37-12. We'll wrap things up here today from Farmington. We'll see you next week from IC Catholic. Once we get the time and all that, we'll pass that along to you. But until then, Wilmington gets a win on to the quarterfinals